Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just sharing stuff. What is this? Uh, down, down. There we go. Okay. Hey, was that Anna? Sorry, I was over here typing on the screen here, sharing it to Facebook. And what do we got going on over here? We got, what the hell is that? Bibbidi Bobbidi? It looks like Bibbidi Bobbidi, but you got this little tiny picture. Yep, it's Bibbidi Bobbidi. Hey, how the hell are you? Uncle Birch over here on TikTok. Just got out of TikTok prison last night. Would have done more videos, but I was enjoying life and shit like that. So I was actually out with people sitting under the table uploading videos that I hadn't been able to put on my account. Also over here live on YouTube simultaneously. Haven't been to TikTok for a while because it was kind of didn't make sense to go to my account with like 100 people and go live. Mm.
Oh, I'm in Facebook jail.
Now Marta over here just got in Facebook jail like moments ago because we are. Somebody said it a long time ago. The Corrells are trouble. He had a point. If you're the wrong kind of person, yeah, the Corrells are trouble. But I'm out of TikTok prison. Hopefully, stay out for a little bit. I got somebody sent me some new information from the TikTok Jesus on how to appeal the account and the special email address to actually reach a human being over there on TikTok. So I have not given up trying to get my 65,000 followers account back. I'm still trying to. But if you're over there on TikTok, follow me at Uncle Birch 2, Uncle Birch 3, and Witch School, WITCHSKEWL. We play the jump around game. And it's actually kind of cooler because since I have 3 accounts, and when I make a video, I'll post it to all 3, the chances of me showing up in your For You page is twice as high. 2 times more. So, hello everybody over there on TikTok. Uncle Birch come to you live from New Orleans. Hello over there on YouTube. Uncle Birch come to you live from New Orleans. How the hell are you? We play this little thing that we do pretty often called Ask Uncle Birch. You can ask anything about any type of magic and see what Uncle Birch has to say about it. He tends to have something to say about almost everything, as you people over there on YouTube have known for like 10 years. Good morning. Love taking your classes. Herbal Baby. Which class are you in, or which session? I just started the November 2021 session, and it's still open. We're still accepting students up until the end of the month at gumroad.com/witch school. WITCHSKEWL. On YouTube, it's up here by the title, and on TikTok, I couldn't put it up there, so I think it's by my profile. You can find those. Are your lives on YouTube or just on the profile? I can never find them. Lately, I've been doing a dual thing. I decided, never got rid of my old phone, never traded it in. My son, usually I save that for my kid for like a gaming device, but his 2 generations ago phone seems to still be working. So figured I work on this over here. Hey, there's Witch of the South. Hello. So I'm using 2 separate phones to go live on 2 separate platforms. And when I was in TikTok jail, we were doing like YouTube and Instagram, and I think we did a YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Today I'm out of TikTok prison on my main account of 3,000 or 4,000 fucking followers on TikTok. So we're over here live, and we're over there live. So if you miss anything on TikTok and want to see it later, ooh, thank you for whatever the fuck that thing was. Whipped coffee. Thank you for the whipped coffee. So if you want to see it later, or you miss something or something like that, bip over to YouTube, find Uncle Birch. Pretty easy to find, and then it'll be stored there forever. Of course, you won't see the comments and stuff from the TikTok side. Sometimes when I remember to do it, I download my lives and upload them to YouTube. But since I'm live on YouTube, that would seem rather redundant. It's odd. I have more people on TikTok than I have on YouTube, and that's backwards. Where are YouTube people? Are they in church or something? No, it's Saturday. That could be a church that meets on Saturday or something, but normally, with 4,000 people to draw. And I think there was 393 of my followers live that were online when I started this thing. So, which is Willow. Ooh, thanks for the rose. Where are you guys? I don't think I know where. Well, Witch of the South, I imagine you're in the South, but yeah. Let's see. Silver River, you must be in Tennessee, says right there. Um, Thanks for giving me advice about the hex. I returned it and protected my family. Yeah, there's there's so many videos that I wasn't able to comment on, or I had to go and comment on my Uncle Birch 3 channel or the Witch School channel while I was in TikTok jail. But I saw somebody trying to make the point out here on TikTok that a hex, a curse, and a jinx are 3 different things. And I wasn't able to disagree. A hex and a curse are the same fucking thing. They're 2 different words for the same process. Jinx is different. You can, hex somebody's money, hex somebody's luck, that kind of thing. Arkansas, the Ozarks, all right. Cool. Austin, Texas, hello. Oklahoma, hello. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, you're in Oklahoma? Wow. Now I understand why you're all worked up. It's got to be tough for a guy like you in Oklahoma, man. I found you on YouTube through Keepers of the World, the Masonic esoteric group here in Long Beach. Really? Well, the high priest of my tradition, who I only assume has passed into the other world by now, but he was a Mason, and he tried to incorporate a lot of Masonic stuff into our tradition back in the day. And I didn't have a problem with that. I just had a problem with him acting like it had always been there. Wait, somebody's family got hexed? I don't know. Did I miss that? Somebody was talking about hex. Long Beach, California, right next to the Eye of the Cat. I'm trying to picture that. There was like a sex shop next to it. I think last time I was there. I'm trying to picture what building next to the Eye of the Cat would do that. Appalachian, Tennessee. Hey, how are you? So far it seems like I'll be in Tennessee in April for Cauldron Fest, but we're gonna see how it goes. You Tennessee people, not all you, but a lot of you Tennessee people don't seem to want to get your vaccines and stuff.
They're trouble.
You're trouble. A lot of those southern states. So we'll see if traveling makes sense at that point. For freezer spells, could a totem be as simple as whoever is stealing from me? Yes. It's kind of like an unknown enemy kind of thing. If you don't have their name, there's always still a way to get at them, and that would be a good way. Georgia, like Georgia, the country. Eurasia, yeah, wow. All right, hello. I wonder what time it is over there. Which the south, yeah. I have my vaccine, but you're right, yeah. Well, I got all 3. Over here, we got upstate New York on YouTube. We got South Carolina. Just watching Dr. House and notice he's still finished. What? What? Am I in Dr. House? I don't know what that is. Donna from Ireland, how the hell are you? Hello. Another South Carolina. Colorado over here on TikTok. Let me see. Thank you. Been putting off a freezer spell because I wasn't too sure of that. Yep, that will work. Use glass and ash from our dump trucks that were burnt to target before. Oh, well, that's nasty. 22:53, 10:53 p.m. That's military time. Yes. Okay, cool. Correct, but that shop just closed and Adam and Eve opened right next door. Is that what it was, Adam and Eve? It's been, God, years since I've been to Long Beach.
I think they said that shop closed and Adam and Eve opened.
Yeah. Adam and Eve opened where that other sex shop was, I think. It was like a bondage shop or something, based on their mannequins, which, next to a witch store is pretty cool. Hey, Spiritual Southern Mama, hello, how the hell are you? It was a romance, etc. shop, yeah. Ever hooked up with a woman? Have you ever hooked up with a woman and had her go crazy after? Yeah, how much time you got? Yeah. Well, see, as for this one over here, the quiet woman over here, came along. I was polyamorous for 20 years and pretty good at my craft. And I had that discussion every fucking time going into it. It's like, I'm polyamorous. I'm not going to fucking commit to you. You're not my girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. And I'm here to tell you, in my research, when women want to get laid, they're as full of shit as men are. And they'll come up with any kind of bullshit. Oh, sure, I'm a jealous bone in my body. I have any problem with your lifestyle, blah, 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 until you fuck them. Then they go crazy and think, you know, I've had several of them just kind of assume themselves my girlfriend, and assume that they could just drop into my fucking house whenever they wanted to, and then when I told them they couldn't, do them crazy. So, yes. Short answer to your question, yes, I have, yes. Let's see. Laughing and Cats over here on YouTube. Can Mary Jane prevent vivid dreams? I don't think so, because I have serious vivid dreams, and you know, we tend to keep smoking until it's time to pass out. So I don't think so. Let's see. Benjamin Murphy, hello. I smoke and have crazy vivid dreams. Yeah, I've never had it affect. Although, you know, I've been doing that roughly since I was 12. I think 3 years of my life I didn't. That was during the law enforcement years. I figured I shouldn't do that if I was going to be a cop. And I started right up again after I wasn't a cop anymore. So, you know, maybe you get used to it. It's hard to remember, you know, what my dreams were like at, you know, 11. Penny, hello, how are you over there on YouTube? I haven't dreamed since I've been on Mary Jane. Huh. Well, you do. You just don't remember it. So, you know, what you might want to do, rosemary. Put some rosemary in your pillow, or make a little dream pillow or something, but definitely rosemary help you remember it. If you didn't dream, you'd be in a nut house. You can go for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most without dreaming before going totally psycho. And that's why curses are so potent. Even if you don't do a curse well, even if you don't do a curse right, at the very least it will disrupt their sleeping pattern, disrupt their REM sleep. And if you disrupt somebody's REM sleep for, like I said, just a week or so, they're going to do the damage to their lives for you. So all you really need to do is just that, and they will fuck up everything in their world. Over here, I've always had vivid dreams smoking canna, especially astral travel. Donna dreamed in color. George, hey, how are you? It seems I've read and heard that weed suppresses REM. Yeah, I've read that too. It doesn't seem to be working for me. So we're on YouTube and TikTok live simultaneously, so I'll be going back and forth from screen to screen. What about adding passion? Well, both passion flower and mugwort are going to, you know, affect your psychic skills. So, you know, if you want to have prophetic dreams, have at it. Mugwort's always good for that. What cologne are you wearing? You smell terrific. Ode to Bio Smoke, and I think I spilled some bourbon on me last night.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. Marta loves it because she likes bourbon. Yeah, I'm doing Future Hops IPA. It is a local brew from Voodoo Ranger. New Orleans brew. A lot of times I shy away from the New Orleans brews because oddly enough, in a town founded on drinking, their IPAs tend to be weak. This one's 8% alcohol, so you know, I have enough of a beer belly without having to drink something that's 6 point or 5 point alcohol and having to drink a fucking case to get a buzz. Hello, Power of the Occult over there on YouTube. I'm over here on TikTok on my main account. I'm out of TikTok prison. Y'all saw my prison tats. You know, clearly they weren't tats, but yeah. Why are healing spells risky? Because you're not a doctor. We don't let people do healing until they go to at least 10 years of medical school. There are all kinds of things going on in the human anatomy that you are not qualified to deal with. And magic can do some weird things until you have a serious amount of experience in magic and have kept good notes and had most of your spells work. I would not try healing magic. You can inadvertently harm somebody by trying to heal them. George Phyllis had at least 2 prophetic dreams in my life. I think it might be a latent gift. I had a period in my life where I had reverse prophetic dreams. It was always the opposite of what happened in the dream, like specifically the exact opposite of that. And about the time I figured out how to work that out, you know, and think about it backwards and figure out what the outcome was going to be, it just kind of stopped happening. Narcissist, as far as hex is for sleep, or narcissist. Sorry, kind of cut off there. Nobody smoke it. How do you know you're ready to become a healer? Well, it's kind of like, how do you know when you're ready to be a full-fledged witch? You know, how do you know when you're ready to strike out on your own? It's when people seek you out for that knowledge, when people start coming over to, you know, having you banish ghosts from their house, do spells to, you know, fix their lives, kind of thing. If people constantly come to you for healing, then you might want to study healing and get good at that. There's certain subconscious reactions they have. They don't know it because it's subconscious, but people can recognize that. I always say that with leadership, when it's time to, you know, pick a priest or a priestess, and I always first say, look, you know, call for volunteers and look for what hand doesn't go up. That's your first candidate. Also, you know, you keep an eye on your coven. Is there a person in your coven or group who everybody always seeks out their advice? You know, people recognize subconsciously who has leadership ability, and they start going to that person. And when I find that person, then we, you know, start training them to be a leader, start training them to be a priest, a priestess, whatever you have. Because in our system, we say those words with an uppercase P, because those are meaningful words that have a great deal of meaning, and to other people they use a lowercase p because they are meaningless. And in a lot of traditions, you can become a priest or a priestess after a year and a day. I mean, in the main systems still. You're not that late, Stella. I just started, let's see, over here, 17 minutes and 37 seconds ago. We're live on YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. Moon Pentacle over here saying, yay, she's catching my live. Yeah, over on TikTok, you got to like manually click on the notification thing to be notified when I go live. I think it's pretty automated over here on YouTube. If you're following me, you get a notification. And we're at 11:11. We got 11 here. We got 11 there. All right, cool. Favorite occult authors, probably Phil Hine, Chaos Magic. He's probably one of my favorite authors. I used to read his works at a pirate radio station with a soundtrack down below, and it's just, you know, perfect thing for reading over the air. He really just has a way of explaining the inexplicable, like chaos magic. Chaos magic can be really tricky, and if you try and read, like, you know, Austin Osman Spare, who founded the practice, you might as well read Solomon. You know, it's that kind of ancient mage grimoire speak. Phil Hines, just down and dirty. Reminds me of myself sometimes, I think. He wrote A Pocket Full of Chaos, if I'm correct. I believe so. His main works are Prime Chaos, Condensed Chaos, and the Pseudonomicon. But all of the work that went into those publications you can find in PDF. It's out there. He already published it. It's out on the internet. You can read Phil Hine for free. Sodomy is Spiritual Fulfillment is a hell of a read. Find that out on the fucking internet. The imagery, you'll see. You'll see. So on YouTube, I have to hit the screen every so often to see if I missed anything, and I've missed nothing. All right, good. Hello, Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans on YouTube and TikTok. If you miss anything on TikTok, you can rewatch it later on YouTube, where it will be saved. Yes, my November class, I'm still taking students. You know, I wasn't able to advertise that much on my main page because I was in TikTok jail, but gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. Now, if you do that, don't screw up. I had two classes start November 2021. One of them says level 2, one of them says level 1. You want to sign up for the right class and the right year, because the November 2020 class, as you might imagine, ended November 2021. Because it's a year and a day kind of course. Yeah, that kind of thing. Um, Everybody's always after me to write a book. I will get around to it eventually. I need a scribe. I need a scribe or good software. I haven't really played with the software enough, but I do a lot better speaking than typing. Matter of fact, I just got in a flame war yesterday on Facebook where somebody asked, what do you do to stop your crystals and herbs from having a chemical reaction and exploding the jar? You ever heard of that happening? No, you haven't heard that happening because it's scientifically impossible. Crystals do not have that kind of chemistry and cause explosions, that kind of thing. So I merely said I've never heard of that. That has never crossed my desk. And I think Becky's overthinking these things. Becky was very offended by that. Oh, back and forth we had to go. And, you know, when you overreact to something I say to such an extreme, I'm not going to back down to make you feel better. So I had to start questioning Becky's knee-jerk reactions. You know, ask Becky, you know, who hurt you, Becky? I am not that person. So, you know, you seem to be taking out some other thing that you feel from somebody who, you know, made you feel less than. Really, all I said was Becky's overthinking these things. And Becky was very upset. Now, had I made a video and said, I think Becky's overthinking these things, somehow it would have been better. But I have this way of typing where I'm just very curt, short, to the point, boring as fuck. I would not read what I have written. Just you know, it's not colorful enough. But then I talk, and it's an entirely different thing. I have a whole lot more to say when I talk about it. So to write a book, I'm going to need like a scribe to I'm just going to talk and write the shit down. I do have a student who transcribed all of the Witch School Level 1. And she works for like a lawyer doing transcriptions is what she does. So I have toyed with paying her for that and publishing that as a book. But I hate that most witch authors have like a 101 book. I always start with a 101 book, and that would basically be it. It'd be like level 1 introduction in Birch's introduction class or Birch's year and a day class. It still might be a good read, but yeah, I just didn't want that to be my first publication. I was expecting my first publication to be the Art of Magical Warfare, and it's all up here. I have to get it out onto paper. If anybody's ever read The Art of War, it sounds just like that, except in a magical context. I quote Sun Tzu very often. What's the best work when dealing with a ruthless nut job in a custody case? That's one where I'm going to go binding or freezer spell, which is basically a binding. You got to be careful. I mean, I'm assuming those are your kids involved. Your kids are around that person. If you hex that person, then you're going to be, you know, hexing your kids, and I don't imagine you want to do that. But it will get on them. You know, binding spells, freezer spells, not so much. And if you've never done a freezer spell, it's damn powerful. You just need a freezer and a personal link, or if you're doing hoodoo, you need a personal concern. Same damn thing. Invite Hoodoo Brujo to go live. I would totally do that. I don't know why it's suggesting, but you know, I have to check. You know, Hoodoo Brujo. Do you want to come on the live? You got your face on? I know it's early Saturday. You may have been out like partying out all night and stuff. Hey, Dad Witch Voodoo, how the hell are you? Herbal Baby, what were your thoughts on the Holy Mountain? I feel I'll never understand every part. I haven't seen it. I just find, oh, you're working, okay. I finally just watched Midsummer. Took us forever to get around to watch that. And Jordan Peele described it as the modern version of The Wicker Man. And I was impressed that Jordan Peele knew what The Wicker Man was. That's kind of a cult classic that, mostly we watch, and not that many people really watch that anymore. Um, but it was a modern version of The Wicker Man, fucking detail to detail. It was very good, very good. Let's see. Hoodoo Brujo. Oh yes, I have to call you too. I got busy. Sorry. Well, hopefully Hoodoo Brujo's over there working on his shop. He's been starting a shop. I don't even know the address of the shop or if he's launched it yet, so I won't, plug it yet. But you can type it in there if it has launched. I would like to see it. If you're not following me, follow me. Saw the original and the remake of The Wicker Man. Now here's the key, kids. If you want to watch The Wicker Man, the original version of The Wicker Man, a few weird things happen. In the 80s, Rod Stewart had a problem that his wife, Britt Eklund, had performed such an erotic nude scene. It's a spell you'll never forget if you haven't seen it. He tried to buy up all available VHS copies of the movie with his considerable fortune and made the movie really hard to find. Then later, some people, it didn't go away, but later some people went and re-edited it. And there's a scene where there's a young boy, about 13 years old, and he's about to get initiated. And the initiation process, as was old pagan process way back then, and we don't do it anymore, was a sexual initiation. He was going to be initiated to the goddess Aphrodite in human form. They don't actually show that, but it's just kind of implied that the kid shows up and he's getting ready to go up there. And there's, you hear sex noises up there. So, it's all implied, but the kid's like 14 years old. So rather than saying that we don't agree with everything people did way back when, they changed that. They deleted it. So basically, if you're watching what you think is the original version of The Wicker Man and the song Gently Johnny does not occur, you're watching an edited copy. And the things that happen in the Gently Johnny scene, in addition to the boy, is just epic. Epic. People engaged in sexual rites on the crops. Old paganism, the powerful shit that nobody does anymore. The pregnant women blessing the blossoms on the trees by walking through the apple orchards, touching each blossom. All of it's lost. The scene with the snails mating and Lord Summerisle's recitation of how he could turn and live with animals. It's just this beautiful, poetic fucking scene. All of those scenes are deleted from the movie when you take out Gently Johnny. So you got to look around. It's out there. As a matter of fact, I think I saw it on like Netflix or Hulu, and I want to go like see, is that the edited thing? It's like, okay, 14-year-old children should not be having sex. Yes, we agree. Now, thousands of years ago, was that agreed upon? No, it wasn't. In pagan societies, was that agreed upon? No, it wasn't. So it's just okay to say, hey, these things happened in the past, and we don't do those things now. But instead, I guess we call it cancel culture. Early cancel culture just went and canceled a huge piece of that beautiful and horrific movie. Yes. So, have you seen A Dark Song? It shows the Abramelin ritual. No. Where's that? What platform? I swear I won't buy another platform, but I have too many. I got Hulu, got Netflix, got Amazon.com, Paramount Plus, HBO Plus, or HBO Max. One of those fucking things. Peacock. Yeah, shit, I don't even know. I keep seeing stuff I want to see, and it'll be on Apple TV. It's like, no. I'm not gonna pay for that. $9.95, and then $13.95 for Netflix. That shit adds up after a while, and if you're not actually watching those services, it's a waste of fucking money. You believe it's on Netflix? Yeah, I saw it. I just saw it the other day. It was like right before Samhain. I should click on that and see what version of the movie it is, because then it's going to be like a collector's item. I don't think a lot of people realize that. You'd have to be kind of a Wickerman scholar to note that, which I am. So, but the version that most people have edits out a whole lot. Donna over here on YouTube's asking thoughts on Aleister Crowley. And there you go. People that think him foully call him Crowley. People that think him holy call him Crowley. He was a character, as you need to be. Probably taught me how to be a character on the world stage. To be in such an obscure thing, you have to court attention at all costs. The thing with Crowley, I like Crowley, but the thing with Crowley that most people don't understand, and early Golden Dawn work, OTO work, all of those old ceremonialists, they had kind of an attitude. And they did this thing called loopholes. They left loopholes in their work. The belief was that if you didn't know magic well enough to perform it, and didn't know the basic rules behind it, you should not be picking up a book and doing a spell out of a book and just reading whatever pops up. And that's what happens with Crowleys, like these goth Satanist high school kids, performing Crowley straight out of the fucking book. They're not going to have a good time, okay? And here's why. one of the examples. This is what Crowley thought was a loophole at one point. Has this elaborate ritual, I think it was magic without tears, which if you did this magic, you'd have some tears, where you're invoking a demon, okay? And you have all of your protections set up, and the demon's all in his triangle and stuff like that. And you're in the process of doing the invocation to the demon, and then there's one little sentence of Greek. And from English, you can fumble your way through Greek. It's not hard, unless they actually use the Cyrillic characters, then that's a fucking bitch. But most people would just read the line of Greek, even though they didn't understand Greek. Now, the line in Greek said, "and devour my soul utterly." So you're calling forth a demon, and then in a language you don't understand, you utter, "devour my soul utterly." Nature does not care that you did not understand what the words were. Intent never was the only thing that mattered. You have just given that thing that you invoked license to devour your soul utterly. And Crowley said, if you were stupid enough to speak a language in a magical context that you did not understand, you deserved to have your soul devoured utterly. I tend to agree. These were the kind of things. My favorite Crowley story, though, is a guy goes to him, a student of his, and he wants Crowley to teach him, the Philosopher's Stone, the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. So, a pencil. Now, this would be like 1800s or something, whatever the hell Crowley was around. A long time ago. Pencils had lead in them, right? Okay, so you got to have that in context. So, guy wants to get the process or learn the process of turning lead into gold. Crowley hands him a pencil. He says, "I want you to write me a letter every 2 weeks. In each letter, I want you to include a check for $300. At the end of the year, I will give you the secret." So the guy does that all year long, every 2 weeks, $300. It's a lot of fucking money back in Crowley's day, all right? At the end of a year and a day, Crowley sends back a very short letter that says, "Do as I have done." There's your Crowley. I appreciate that greatly. Power of the occult. Oh, we're talking about Crowley now? I just got back. Love that guy. Well, you better watch the rebroadcast, because that was some epic Crowley stories I just told you. You may have heard those stories before I say that. We should do with spell jars that are useless now. Should we throw them away? Anything left over from a spell that can be burned should be burned. Anything that cannot should be buried. That's the basic rule. A spell jar, you could burn it. If you got like a fire pit, I used to burn spell jars in the ritual fire pits at the beach where we used to live back in the day. Um, I've had the pleasure of meeting Poke Runyon and Elo Marquette, American. You know, I should just try to get Poke Runyon on our podcast, Widdershins. I've never done that. He usually has people that answers it before he gets too old. Poke Runyon is the coolest dude to listen to. I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember the original Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, The Hobbit. It was a cartoon, and that was the best we had. And then Lord of the Rings was also a cartoon. That's all we had. But the narrator of that sounds like Poke Runyon. He's just, I mean, and Poke Runyon, he's doing, stuff out of Solomon. And I think it was Poke Runyon that first clued me in. I've been reading Solomon my whole life, but he laid out, Solomon had this thing. It was for reading actually a crystal ball originally, and then later it becomes a scrying mirror. But it was a wax square tablet with very elaborate sigil drawn in the center, and the crystal ball would sit in the center of 4 candles sunk into the corners of this thing. It had very precise measurements. And Poke Runyon was talking about it, and he mentioned that the distance between the candles and the crystal ball would put the crystal ball in the middle of 4 heat waves. Divination is all about bending our vision. That's what a scrying mirror does. That's what a crystal ball does. That's what a scrying bowl does. It's all about bending our vision. So we got the crystal ball bending our vision, but then something else that can bend our vision is the heat waves from a flame. So putting the crystal ball in the center of 4 heat waves is, you've got 5 times the bending of your fucking vision going on. And when you read this stuff, you don't think that the measurements are that important, but Poke Runyon was laying it out. It's like, with those measurements, crystal ball would be right in the center of 4 heat waves from the candles. And I just thought, fuck, Solomon was brilliant, but even with all my years, some of his brilliance escaped me until then. Poke is great, such a sweet looking old man. The knowledge is so vast, yes. Lonmilo Duquette is a Crowley specialist, for those looking to learn more about him. Yes, or wait, Lon Milo? Is it Lon Milo? I always think it was Leo. All right, what else? Okay, that's over there on TikTok. Hey, Elizabeth, over here on YouTube. Does the Temple of Astarte still exist? I think Poke started that center. I don't know. He has a YouTube channel, and you're over here on YouTube. Ask him. He usually has other people answer for him. He's a busy man or something. I want to get to that stage where I can just have people answer my fucking mail for me someday. But I would ask him. I would be interested to know. But I would love to get him on our podcast just to listen to him speak. His voice is so perfect for describing and performing magic. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans. I'm out of TikTok jail, so we're live over here at TikTok, and we're live over here on YouTube. My November 1st, Level 1 2021 Year in a Day course is still open. It's $35 a month. You can go over to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL, and look at what that class entails. Everything that I think a witch needs to learn in their first formal year of study. You sitting around with books and that kind of thing is not formal study, and things happen to you when you finally do some formal study. You'll find your spirit guides suddenly show up, and shit starts changing in your life when you make that formal fucking step. So the class is available over there at gumroad.com. I believe the next one's going to be, I think January 1st is when the next class starts. I tend to have 5 year-in-a-day courses going at any one time. Over here on TikTok, I've got one entire course, probably about 6 months in. It's roughly 50 TikTok witches. I only advertised that particular session on TikTok, and that's all I got was TikTok witches. So I'm hoping that soon my students, who totally kick ass, will start teaching some witchcraft on TikTok. They know enough by now to do some, way more than your average TikTok witch already. But we're hoping to change TikTok completely, just based on their existence there. What's your opinion on Norse pagan reconstruction and witchcraft? I've got so many fucking opinions on that. Um, for most of my lifetime, the problem with the Norse pantheons is removing the Nazis from their midst. And they're still trying to do that. There's still total forms that are absolute Nazi shit. The problem, the rub that lies therein, is that the largest revival of that particular faith happened under the Nazi Party. Hitler wasn't Christian, neither was Himmler. Himmler was really the guy there. Himmler was an occultist. He believed that the SS was the reincarnated knights of the Round Table. Himmler adopted Madame Blavatsky's, well, from her work, he derived the idea of a blonde-haired, blue-eyed master race. The largest maypole on record was 1930s Nazi Party. The largest summer solstice balefire was the Nazi Party. They were obsessed with finding the 5 treasures of the Tuatha Dé Danann, the ancient Irish fairy race. Being that that was the largest revival of that faith, it's really difficult for them to remove that shit. They should. They absolutely should. I mean, Hitler was just using those things to incite a sense of nationalism in his people. Matter of fact, there's an old speech we always, see Hitler up at the podium, his hands all going and shit. And they never tell us what he's saying. There's rarely a translation. But I saw one time. It was back when the History Channel was obsessed with the occult Nazi connection. It's summer solstice, and Hitler is giving a speech, and this one had subtitles, and it said, "Today is the day that the sun rises to his peak and sacrifices himself. The sun god sacrifices himself for his people." And then he puts his hand out like this, and then the camera pans back, and you see all of his army standing there at attention, all in parade form. He says, "Just as you will now go out and sacrifice yourselves for the motherland." Or was it the fatherland? I think the motherland's Russia. I think the fatherland was Germany, or the fatherland, I think. So he was using the philosophies of paganism for war. It was an occult warfare, and it is rumored that he actually did uncover Lu's spear, famous occult object, and from reverse engineering Lu's spear, that's how the Nazis came up with the rocket and the missile. That's a rumor. Hey, Ashhole, how the hell are you? Over here on TikTok. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans on YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. Let's see what the YouTube people are saying over here. Love Uncle Al. It's like having Raven Price narrate the Raven. Yeah, totally. Also, a lot of Nazis in the left-hand path also, unfortunately. Yes, unfortunately. However, the left-hand path probably doesn't mean what you think it means. And this is the thing. I need to remember everything that I've said when I had 65,000 followers on TikTok. Look at this fucker. Honey, look at this fucker. Mojo, not only was that not yours to dig out of the trash, but you come walking out here with it. You have no subtlety, man. You're not sneaky enough. Come walking out with the trash in your mouth. You fucking have. What the hell was I saying? That's probably something that I need to cover. The left-hand path and the right-hand path don't mean what most people think. Originally, the left-hand path and the right-hand path were supposed to be diametrically opposed. The main difference in beliefs was that the left-hand path believed that if God exists within us, and the right-hand path believed that the gods exist outside of us. So then the philosophy follows that the left-hand path was service to the self. You're serving the gods by serving yourself. And the right-hand path was serving others. By serving others, you're serving the gods. We tend to all believe nowadays that the gods, if we believe in the gods, are within us and without us. As above, so below, as without, so within, as the universe, so the soul, taking us all the way back to Hermetics, where all of this shit starts in the first place. So the two main philosophies that differentiated them have been absorbed into one philosophy, and the left-hand path and the right-hand path really don't have anything to disagree on anymore. That was the main problem. They always said back when Star Wars first came out that they stole those ideas from paganism, even the Force, all of that. But the left-hand path would be the Sith, and the right-hand path would be the Jedi. And the same thing, the Jedi believed in serving others, the Sith believed in serving themselves. Like mid-path or gray. Well, pretty much I think I get a lot more done with both hands. We're talking masturbation, man. Just two hands works better. Let's see, did I miss anything? Well, of course, you know what the left-hand path is. Power of the occult. Temple of the Blood and ONA. I'm not sure if I know them. Marta's sitting over here. She's chilling. Marta's in Facebook jail. She's bad. She's bad. Evil.
They warned you about me.
They did. They warned it. I've heard it said the Corrells are trouble.
Before I was even a Correll, they warned you.
Yes, they did. How'd that work out?
Remember all the concerns?
Mm-hmm. Concerns. Yes. People that have concerns, they approach you with their concerns. They're about to get involved in business that is not their business. Every fucking time somebody uses that fucking thing, concerns is some way to masquerade your interfering crap with actually being concerned about a person. The people that had concerns with Marta tend to be women that I wouldn't sleep with anymore because I became monogamous with Marta. And they all had concerns about her, though. And it's like, the concern wouldn't be you not getting my dick anymore, huh? No. All right, sure. First steps for a new witch to take. All right, I haven't been able to say this a while because nobody's answered me. You're going to get the same advice everywhere you go. But Uncle Birch is going to harp on one thing that's more important than all of the things that you'll ever hear. Fire safety, fire safety, fire safety, fire safety. Witches burn things. Do not burn the wrong things. Have yourself, like we've got, our altar spaces tend to be marble tabletops. Those are the only things I use for altar spaces because anything else could burn. I have sold altar cloths. I don't think we sell altar cloths now at the lovershermeticsupply.com, our shop. But I've sold them, but I'd never used them. You get some wax on those, you get some oil on those, you just get one little ember from a candle or the incense, and you got a fire. So have a fucking fire extinguisher under your altar. Don't have anything on the walls that could fall onto the candles. Be really careful with everything you burn and have a non-flammable surface. Never leave a candle burning unattended. All of that stuff. Kristen B, your B loves green. Hold on, how do I do this? Reply, translate, mute, block, report. No. How do I follow you? God damn it. Translate, mute, block, report. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Oh, wait, we're already friends? Okay, maybe I'm already following you. But I didn't know that was you. All right, well, I was following you anyway, so cool. Bobcat Waddell. Well, if you, recommendations on books are asking over here. If you Google Uncle Birch, you will find my Amazon influencer list, and the first thing on the list is recommended books. God, I got like 100 of them up there. But if you're just starting out, you must have Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. It'll save you so much money. I mean, everything in magic, if you can learn to do it yourself, will work better than buying crap from online occult shops that sell shit from sweatshops in China. With Buckland's Big Blue, the Complete Book of Witchcraft, you can learn to make your own othame. your own wand, your own mead, your own ale, your own altar, your own ritual cloak, um, probably even more, your own incense, on and on and on and on. And so you're going to be learning to make all of this stuff, and it's got all of the basics you would need to start your practice on top of that. So that one book can save you a whole lot of money and save you from buying several other books. Your pop just gave you his Thor's hammer today. Cool. An heirloom. That's what that is. I love that book. One of the first ones I bought. I just reused things I already had. Reusing things in magic is not a good idea. Like, don't burn, a piece of a candle for one thing and then use that same candle for another thing. That's causes a lot of confusion and stuff like that. You burn it up. Don't cheapen it. If you're not going to, if you want to be cheap, DIY. It is so cheap. You can make like a gallon of magical oil for like 30 cents worth of stuff. If you learn brewing techniques, and if you happen to be taking Uncle Birch's Level 1 2021 class, like the November 2021 class, one of the things in my class that I teach that nobody teaches in these kinds of classes is shopcraft. I teach you how to open a shop, how to run a shop. Everything that I learned by trial and error in all my decades of running a witch store and not specifically being a businessman, including brewing techniques. I even give away a couple of my recipes and my trade secrets in that course. So it might be a better way to go. Take that course. He said he would only wear it to church. Oh, that's classic. I've had Buckland's Big Blue for years. Marta will be picking the Facebook locks soon enough. Yeah, she's filed her appeal, and they have an appeal process now, and it looks like a review board. And Marta, she's got a way with words, a wordsmith from hell. So if anybody's actually reading his words, I expect her not to be in Facebook jail for long at all.
Well, it was only the Facebook jail sentence is for 24 hours, so
Yeah.
it's like.
Is anybody going to review it in 24
No matter
hours?
what they say,
Yeah.
I'm going to be back on there in 24 hours,
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's really going to even go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have to review it now if it's going to make a difference.
Consumable. Okay. I'm just reading. I got these on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. If you want to watch this later, go on over to my YouTube page and it'll be saved there forever. Bobcat Wood Elves joined. Weren't you already here? Oh, I think I lost connection briefly or something like that. Yes. So we're doing Ask Uncle Birch. I've been teaching witchcraft 40 plus years, and it is my full-time job at this day and age. So I do this kind of thing all over the internet. I started doing it on TikTok because there seemed to be a need for it. There was a need to do it on YouTube when I first started. There's a need on Facebook. There's a need on my Instagram. Bless you. Follow me on Instagram at UncleBirch_witch. While TikTok fucks around and finds out, I'm spending a lot more time over there beefing up my account on Instagram. Because, I expect to be back in TikTok prison soon. However, we've been playing a little game over here on TikTok. You over here on YouTube might not know. On TikTok, it seems that there are actually no humans at the helm running TikTok at all. And all it takes is somebody to flag your account or your videos for anything. Like I got a video flagged for nudity. I submitted an appeal and I didn't win it, and I certainly wasn't nude. You'd have to throw me a lot more flowers for that over here on fucking TikTok. Shit like that, to where my 65,000 follower account got permanently banned for community guidelines violations. So we learned over here on TikTok, as if you went over here on YouTube, you can listen to our podcast from a couple days ago about the digital inquisition. It's all about that. Over here on TikTok, it turns out that certain Christians are banding together organizing to report witches' pages and get them taken down. And so every witch I know has like 3 or 4 backup accounts right now because that shit's going on. So we started doing that back to them. And I just this morning got Kill the Witch 21 violated again. I get him violated every day. They find a violation every day. They've restricted his account again. But I know from being on that side, they restrict you for a week or something like that. Then you do it again. They restrict it for a week or something like that. Eventually, you get to the point of a permaban. And if we can't get Kill the Witch 21 permaban, then, we don't deserve TikTok. But we're doing it. We're organizing, we're finding Christians that are bigots, homophobes, using their religion to persecute us, that kind of thing, and reporting their accounts for hate speech. Come over there on TikTok. It's a fun little video game to play. It doesn't, it's one of those casual video games. You don't need to be like fully immersed. You can sit there, I sit there reporting people while I'm watching TV and shit, man. Just report. And if you're over here on TikTok, keep doing it. Report an account for hate speech like several times immediately. And those still count. And I get responses for days. I'll be getting responses from the reports that I made on the same day. And it just keeps coming. And eventually, if anybody, Kill the Witch 21 has to be banned for hate speech. His account sounds exactly like what you would think it is. And it is. He wants to, you can't threaten to kill somebody, but you can threaten to unalive them. Apparently. Because I couldn't get that one taken down for hate speech. Okay, didn't miss anything on YouTube. Still, last thing was talking about Buckland's Big Blue Book. All right, cool. Yeah, Witch of the South, you got him violated too. Yep. And I've got 3 accounts to do it from now too. How does that work out? I got 3 accounts now. I tend to, with the good videos, I post all 3 of them on all 3 accounts and tag them all for the For You page and the FYP and all of those, getting my videos to throw up or show up 2 more times than your average on the feed. Now on Uncle Birch 2, Uncle Birch 3, and Witch School, WITCHSKEWL, I've found that the witches that show up in my For You page are quite often witches I've never seen before after like 2 years on the fucking platform. They just never showed up. Even with the Witch Talk hashtag and the Witches of TikTok hashtag and all that. So the Christians fucking with me brought me to entirely new audiences. I have people following me that weren't following before. I have students in my classes that never heard of me before because I wasn't showing up on their For You page either. So I might just keep making accounts. It's like, have like 15 versions of the same video posted. It'll show up on somebody's fucking For You page that way. It's an algorithm run amok. Pagans, it can be said, may have invented the internet. We were at the forefront of computer programming back when hardly anybody had a computer, like mid-80s and shit. That was one of the top jobs for pagans, was computer programming. Makes sense. We have that kind of brain where we can conceive of sending ourselves through a portal and ending up in an entirely different universe, which is another, a web page, an entirely other place. So it makes sense that we would invent those kind of things. We can't let the Christians come along later and use technology against us. We are smarter than that. It's just an algorithm. We can trigger the algorithm too. And we should. The days of our kind being silenced by Christians should be over. I've never been flagged before. Yeah, they're totally stalking me. Yeah, I know. They're like, and some of them I'll find, if they accidentally make a stupid comment, I ban motherfuckers all day, every day. You try and spread disinformation on my page, you talk about, how Trump won, that kind of, banned. You're gonna try and like tell me how Jesus loves me? Banned. Over here on YouTube, I banned 5 whole people my entire fucking lifetime on fucking YouTube. My account used to be kind of hard to find. You had to look for FreakPhil1309. I was not very overt on YouTube. And it's pretty rare. You know, I've been lucky to be mostly devoid of trolls on YouTube. Um, and that's kind of their thing. You know, TikTok wants to fuck around and play this kind of thing. Why is TikTok popular? Because kids have a short attention span. They only want to watch 1 minute, maybe 3 minutes worth of content, and then scroll. So, YouTube now has shorts. Over on Instagram, they got reels. Those reels show up on Facebook because Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same person or the same people. Everybody's answering that challenge, and quite frankly, YouTube and Instagram are better formats than TikTok. I will not go away from TikTok, mostly because they fucked with me. You know, if nobody fucked with me, I probably would have just gotten bored of TikTok one day. Lost connection, good connection. Okay, TikTok, I'm having connection issues here, but it seems to be okay now. Yeah, so I won't go away from TikTok specifically because somebody, people that I hate want me to go away from TikTok. Kind of tenacious. Go over to TikTok. Maybe I put it up on YouTube. I don't remember. It's also on Instagram at Uncle Birch _witch. Look at the story about Feel Free. I'll tell you a little bit about who they're dealing with. Brother X, Uncle Birch makes a mean brew. Ah, thank you, Nathan. What is that little emoji? It's almost like a yellow ghost thing. Cool. Okay. LOL. She's not. It's backwards. Hey. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Okay, that's cool. That means I didn't miss anything. So I described a freezer spell to my Christian mom, and she was like, "Oh, that's like a prayer." Yeah. We've often said that. You know, we pray with stuff. It's prayers with things. You know, rocks, stones, bones, candles, whatever you got. Catholics do a lot of that shit too. Well, that's because they stole those ideas from us, but yeah. So be sure and check us out at thelovershermeticsupply.com. You can find my classes, you can find my year-in-a-day course, and all kinds of other things. My entire series on spiritual and magical warfare is available over on Gumroad as well. On YouTube, it's right under the title, I think, gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. And over here on TikTok, I believe it's under my profile. But again, gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. If anybody could type that in the comments, that'd be great. That'll help people, and I don't really have the ability to do that while switching from camera to camera here. It's crazy how many people think witches and other faiths can be punished after all Christians did. Well, that's one of the things they did. I mean, a lot of the people accused of being witches were other factions of Christianity. Apart from the main. I mean, we've got to understand it was the Catholics. It was Catholicism that ran the Inquisitions, the witch hunts, that kind of thing. And that didn't, I think Hoodoo Brujo was talking about that. That didn't just happen in Salem. You know, they hung a handful of people and pressed, I forget the guy's name. There was a male convicted. He was pressed to death by stones. What we used to call the burning times really wasn't that much the burning times. One of the main places where they burned witches at the stake was Scotland. That was one of the only places that really happened. But if you look at the deaths that were afforded to the people accused of witchcraft, you probably would have wished for the stake. As horrific as the stake sounds or seems, the other ways that they killed people accused of witchcraft were much more horrific and long-lasting. Power of the Occult. ONA was disbanded last week or so due to their legal troubles. They're not an issue anymore. What's ONA even stand for? I'm not even sure if I know who ONA is. Do psychedelics have a negative effects on magical practice in any circumstances? Well, being that I started my witchcraft studies around 13 years old, you know, during the punk rock days where I was trying really hard to live up to our prime directive of live fast, die young. Um, Definitely my psychedelic phase. I don't think it hampered it all. One of the things that I will say is I always remember LSD and those type of psychedelics, the chemical man-made kind of things. There was always some revelation that I would have in the middle of one of those experiences, and that revelation was not a revelation after I came down. It didn't make sense anymore. With psilocybin, however, every revelation that I ever had was still a revelation come morning. So every time I was changed and somehow more connected to nature than I had been previously. Maybe that's because I usually would spend my time in nature while doing that. Um, so yeah, I don't think it hampers anything at all. I think it enhances it, the experience. Would you ever consider doing a tour to cities around the U.S. and teach meetup kind of thing? Yes, if I'm paid. Um, I have agreed to the Order of the Nine Angels. Oh God, really? Okay, um, that makes a lot of sense now. I've agreed to do Cauldron Fest because I like the guy, and it's a new festival and that kind of thing in April in Tennessee, Spencer, Tennessee. So you can look that up at cauldronfest.com. But that is the one time I'll ever break the rule. It's like, you pay for at least my travel, my lodging, maybe some expenses would be nice too. You can manage to do that. Yeah, come, come visit you. Now, part of my travel and expenses, of course, is at least my plus one. And we lost connection over here, and we got the good connection over here. But yeah, I do that kind of thing. But at least it shouldn't cost me to do that. I'm not, when I'm just getting my travel expenses paid and that kind of thing. I mean, clearly not getting rich off it, that kind of thing. But, here, Hex Fest is coming up. I'm getting paid for Hex Fest. Even though I just
Minor
have to.
plus one.
Yeah, yes. Even though, I literally could just walk to Hex Fest in, like 15 minutes from here, just walk over to the French Quarter. I'm getting paid for WitchCon. I don't really have to go anywhere for WitchCon, but that's the thing about Christian Day festivals. He pays his presenters, so you get a level of presenters better than a lot of other festivals. Matter of fact, there was one that used to happen, luckily died off in California, called Pantheacon. Not only did the presenters not get paid for their travel, they had to pay for their ticket to enter the festival.
Yep.
And I can't believe, well, the level of presenter that they typically had at that festival was just not worth going to that festival, and that's probably why. It's like, who's going to do that? You're going to, like, go broke just to, like, sell a couple copies of your book?
And they had to pay for their hotel.
Yeah, they had to pay for all their expenses, their lodging,
Yep.
and pay to get into the festival. That was like that one was a slap in the face. I can't believe they got Orion Foxworthy to do that all of those years.
No, I think he was the only one getting paid.
Oh yeah, he was the only one that getting paid.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and that was probably their biggest presenter they had forever. It was always just stupid workshops.
But now it's
that
being
you don't wanna go
replaced
to.
by Between the Veils, remember?
Pantheacon has been replaced by a festival called Between the Veils. You hear me? Between the Veils. Now, you new kids out in the back, I want you to hear something. So this is what lack of
It's like purgatory.
Yes, this is what lack of occult scholarship will bring you. And especially if you're wanting to present an event, host an event, and you sound like an ignorant fuck, there's a lot of other witches out here to get that. There's Between the Worlds and Beyond the Veils. These two things are not interchangeable. They are not the same thing. You hear some expression in witchcraft and think you know what it means and use it inappropriately. nature will bring you what comes of that kind of thing. It's between the worlds or beyond the veils. Like Marta said, between the veils would be like purgatory. Okay, beyond the veils, the veils. Okay, so the veils is between us and the spirit world, right? You've heard about veils being thin around Samhain, that kind of thing. Between the veils would be in between the spirit world and the spirit world, but not the spirit world. Like Marta said, purga motherfucking Tory. Now, I want to go to a festival that is so ignorant of the ways that they're going to get something like that wrong. Fuck no. I'm so glad we don't live in California anymore. We had a witch group at Ren Fair in the OKC, and Christians protested going in. Well, that happened. Southern Ren Fair, Southern California in the 80s was a Beltane-focused fair. So lust and debauchery was the themes of all that, and it was always dominated by pagans. There was a big maypole in the fucking center of it. Up north, the Ren Fair was around Lammas, and there was a giant wicker man in the middle of it. It was always a pagan stronghold, but the Christians started protesting there too. Now, since you brought me there, I always remember Uncle Birch teaches by story. When I first went north from Southern California and ended up in the mountains of Santa Cruz, California, I moved right to the forest because I was a pagan my whole life that hadn't actually seen many trees or nature or any of that kind of thing. It was kind of theoretical, you know, worshiping nature and not actually experiencing fucking nature. So I moved into the depths of fucking nature. I had this little apartment underneath this house, and the house turned out to be a deadhead commune. I never even heard of, I didn't even know what a deadhead was. And I'd heard, you know, of a commune, but I didn't think they existed. And one of the women, they're actually, the woman that lived there was a diehard born-again Christian. And so this is like Northern California, so redwood forests. Redwood forests do this kind of thing where a tree will die and give off, its roots will grow offspring, which tend to grow in a circle. So you find all of these places where there's this lovely stump in the middle, which makes a great altar, and then a circle of trees. And you find this all over in the redwoods. It's a common theme. So, you know, what's a priest just experiencing nature going to do when he comes across something like that? Fuck yeah, he's going to make a temple. So that was my temple. And but it was on communal land. But nobody else was using that piece of communal land. So the woman there started hanging crosses in my temple, expecting that would offend me. It did not. She started like putting my candles out. That offended me. And we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, flip the hourglass up to about 10 years. I'm working in the first witch store in Santa Cruz, and who would you think comes walking through the door wearing a shiny new pentagram? Yeah, it was her. We had a good laugh. Then she took my class. Now, little did she know, I was teaching witches right underneath her fucking house. I immediately was teaching witchcraft the second I arrived in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and my living room was full of mostly college girls from UCSC, teaching them witchcraft. The worm can turn. Yes. Well, I never advertised on campus. There was a coffee shop right over where a lot of campus kids would go, because it was like right up the street behind campus. Empire Grade, I think. If you went up Empire Grade, you'd end up in Felton, and it was just a little coffee house, and I wrote on the back of somebody else's business card, it was like Wicca classes, free, enough said, phone number. And that's, I met many witches off of that, but, you know, immediately my house was full of fucking students. And, you know, yeah, when I started going up to that campus, we actually had a Beltane ritual on the campus in the Porter Meadow. Marta was going to school there right then. I don't think we ever crossed paths.
A Porter student,
Yes, yeah. Porter Meadow. We had a maypole and fucking everything, you know. And people, and lots of just students just showed up. It's like we were not from campus. We just took it. It was like a nice meadow. We took it over.
I was off campus around Beltane because I got really sick and they told me not to come back.
So, Our paths were crossing for a while there. Is it disrespectful to hide a Santa Muerte altar? Uh, I do not know. I don't know if Hoodoo Brujo's still here. Hoodoo Brujo, are you there? I know you're at work. I'd ask him. Well, oh, that's right. He only does like TikTok on his breaks and shit. It's been a while. It's been like 75 minutes. Maybe he's on break again. I'd ask him. A lot of ATR things are hidden. Um, like we have our Luceros sitting by the front door, but quite typically people will have a cabinet that they keep those things in. They're not for everybody to see, but we're just operating ours a little different. It would be disrespectful to have a shared altar. Santa Muerte, yeah, actually. So we got our luceros on the floor, and there's a table above the luceros, right at the front door, where Santa Muerte is, and I had like 15 statues rescued from temples all over Mexico that were housed in my shop. Where people could come and give them offerings and worship and that kind of thing. And when it was clear that we were leaving Santa Cruz and going to go, travel around and eventually end up in New Orleans, I had to thin that herd. And so I found good homes for every one of those statues. I mean, one was 6 feet tall, the black Santa Muerte. One was 6 feet tall, and I found good homes for every one of those statues. And I kept the rainbow one. It's actually kind of rainbow bedazzled, or what are those, rhinestones? It's got like rhinestones all over. It's kind of flashy, but Santa Muertes are color coded for what they're gonna do, right? So like, for protection or killing your enemies, you want the black one. For wealth, you want the gold one. For money, you want the green one. Blue, pink, or red for love, depending on the target. Or rainbow, which covers all of them. So we kept that one. So that particular statue was, worshipped in some temple down in Mexico for decades, and then they were tearing down these temples, and somebody rescued all these statues and asked me if I would house them in my shop. Now that's before I met Santa Muerte. I knew nothing about her. I go, wow, that's really kind of cool looking. It's like this Grim Reaper kind of thing. I'm into that. That's cool. All right. I know nothing about her, but I read, I asked, I talked to everybody I could, because okay, well, they're showing up like 2 days from now. I need to learn everything I can about her before I make an altar space in the shop. Now, it shouldn't matter that I had 15 Santa Muertes on one spot, sharing with herself, hopefully okay with her. But literally, within a couple days of setting up this, I had to set up an entire shrine, move all the books. We had a long 8-foot high bookshelf, and her shrine took up about 5 feet of the center of that, with steps, about 3 steps. And within a couple days of that, people started arriving and bringing her offerings. And I had this guy. I had no idea. There's only so much you could read about this kind of thing, but guy come into my shop, crawling on his elbows, face down, not even looking, crawling over to the shrine and then bringing his offering. Never looked up at her. Never looked up at her at all. And then later, I learned, I think I've learned it from Breaking Bad. That is traditional. And they have this, I don't know if you've ever seen that in Breaking Bad. They have this scene where there's this Santa Muerte shrine in this Mexican village, and there's all these people crawling down this dirty fucking road on their bellies to go. That's a traditional way to approach her. And yeah, it's like Breaking Bad. But I hadn't seen Breaking Bad yet, so that was like, okay, you work in a witch store all day, weird shit happens all the fucking time. Okay, so you don't really twitch that much, but I'm just like, huh, well, now that's interesting. I always remember that I hadn't mopped in a couple days. This guy left like a trail of clean floor all the way up to our altar, so I had to mop just to even it out. The things that happen in a witch store. Hello, Uncle Birch. Hello, Room. Hello, DA. Ever been to Mount Shasta? Yeah, been a long time, but yes. What do you what do you feel about this type of year? What do you feel this type of year is best used for magically per the law of rhythm and changing of the seasons? Well, we're past harvest time. We should have harvested all the things that we've been working on all year long. This is still it's still November. It's still time to remember the dead. Um, uh, while in Latino countries, they have the Day of the Dead. There's the Day of the All Saints goes on till the 10th in Ireland. Um, but right about the 19th is when the Unionists remember our dead. Joe Hill, I believe, was executed November 19th, 1921 in Utah, and that's why Wobblies never will be caught dead in Utah. But for me, on another side of my spectrum, we're remembering our Union martyrs throughout the month of November, and the colors associated with that are black and red, which are rather popular colors around here. I mean, it's what Lucero wants. It's what Elegua wants. I think even the Satanists are using the color scheme, but it's a popular color scheme around here already. Anyways, um, thank you, Nathan. Thank you. Okay, because I'm a big guy. How do you know you're ready to work with Santa Muerte? Well, I can only go from my own experience. She will crack you over the skull and demand recognition, kind of like Hecate did. It was definitely one of those dark goddesses. But I had made an agreement to house some Santa Muerte statues, and the woman arrived with the Santa Muerte statues and starts unloading her car, and they just kept coming. And I've often described it as a clown car of death. They just kept coming. They kept getting bigger and bigger until one was like 6 feet tall. And I had already made the agreement, and then I had learned who I had made an agreement to, and knew the folly of not honoring such an agreement. So immediately it's like, all right, I'm moving all my books in the center of my fucking book thing. I started building. I had a electric screwdriver and the screws, and some leftover shelves from the bookcase. They were already black, and I started making a multi-step shrine for her, and then just started putting the fucking statues on there, and then we blessed each statue, fed each statue, learned I learned how to feed her as well. Just give the proper respect, and then just learn everything you can when you can learn something. But proper respect get you very far with most things. I often say that, like, if you find yourself working from another person's culture, give respect to those ancestors. You probably won't be culturally appropriating if follow that one lesson. Uncle Birch coming to you live on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. It's kind of gone back and forth. Sometimes I have more people on TikTok. Sometimes I have more people on YouTube. Going back and forth. But I've been doing this dual broadcasting thing a bit lately. While I was in TikTok jail, we were doing it on YouTube and Instagram. I think I did YouTube and Facebook one time. And I think before I went to TikTok jail, I did do the TikTok YouTube. But I'm been doing that a bit. So find me on YouTube as Uncle Birch. Find me on Instagram as Uncle Birch _witch. Over here on TikTok, I'm Uncle Birch 2, Uncle Birch 3, and Witch School, WITCHSKEWL. Now, since I said that on TikTok, Witchfoot, who has a different, I forget her other account name. She had another account name, and I didn't find Witchfoot for a while until somebody told me, and then I went and followed her, and she had this theory that her name, Witchfoot, and all variations of the words Witchfoot, had been shadow banned. And I looked at her, she had 111,000 followers on her new account that I had just discovered. I'm going, well, she's doing something right. So she made an account that did not have Witchfoot in it and got more followers. Now, if you go over it, you look at Uncle Birch 3, which was started about 3-4 weeks before witch school, and then you look up witch school, WITCHSKEWL, I got double the followers on witch school. Witch school's growing faster than Uncle Birch 3. So might be something to that. So we'll see. If Witch School surpasses Uncle Birch 2, well then we'll really have something there, and I'll have to, I'll have to have all kinds of different, maybe I'll even do Witch School common spelling next. And then I won't have to spell it every time. Go WITCHSKEWL. Won't that be cool? Proof of witchcraft is Witchfoot over there. Yes, thank you. Proof of witchcraft. Oh, you're both saying it over here. So it's proof _ witchcraft is the new witch. She's, her account's growing faster than mine, so I will take her advice. And I always love me some Witchfoot anyways. She's a controversial character, and us controversial characters need to stick together, And she was, she was being attacked like this stuff on TikTok way before they came for me. It took them a while for them to figure out, but once they figured out, oh my God, here's this guy. Not only is he a witch, he's teaching witches, real witchcraft on TikTok. Oh, no, we can't have that. So I understand why they're upset, but I'm just not going away. And the Immaculate Foot. Yeah, she had several with the foot, and then I think she's even got I think she started a church or something. I don't remember. I know she's got a business and a webpage and that kind of thing. And I think it was the Church of the Immaculate Foot, something like that, which is funny as fuck. I mean, the Christians in America have a Church of Guns now, run by Reverend Sung Young Moon, who I don't know how he's a Christian all of a sudden. There's always this kind of pseudo-Indianish or cult leader, Hindu-esque cult leader. Now it's the Church of Guns. Thoughts on the eclipse. The eclipse is an excellent time to do sneaky stuff. And that's always been that way in witchcraft. I don't know where this thing came up that you don't do work during the eclipse. The eclipse is when you want to be sneaky. I kind of think of it as like in Palo Mayombe, Palomonte, Palo Cambisa. There's a lot of Christianity that gets involved or gets absorbed into a lot of those traditions, and they have a belief that on Good Friday you can hex the fuck out of all of your enemies and Jesus won't see it. Silly, but that is the belief. You can get away with it. So like Poleros are all like ramping up their protections on Good Friday all the time because they expect every other Polero to come after them. It's silly as fuck. Speaking of which, the corpse bug is crawling around again. I don't understand what the bug is.
Is that the one that carries all the...
Yeah, he carries all the corpses. I don't know if they... Carcasses. I don't know if he kills all of those carcasses or he just finds his friends dead and carries them. I mean, the thing has tripled in size. They're really small little white bugs.
Maybe he's the grave digger.
He's the grave digger. But we have this square table and he thinks he's going somewhere. He just keeps walking around the rim of the table. He's like, God, I've been walking so far today. When am I going to get to the graveyard, man? I've noticed when I was pissing off conservatives on TikTok, their only report was, I don't know if you're a girl or a boy, because apparently they've never seen a guy with long hair. I saw that too. It's like, fuck, dude. 1960s just called. They want your fucking insult about hair length back. I was like, when the fuck has that been a thing anymore? My God. I have a question about using sigils in public places. Would it be helpful to use 2 different sigils? One for the thing you want to attract, and the other to push away the things you don't. I think that would be an excellent idea. You should do that. Good idea. Which goddesses are beginner friendly? I'd go with Diana before Hecate. However, you've heard hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? You've heard that, right? And goddesses are the embodiment of femininity, right? You've heard that. So any goddess you can piss off on the wrong day, man. Even Diana could, fuck you up. But I would say she's more beginner friendly than starting with Hecate, even though I started with Hecate. But, that's what. Yeah, that's when you say you really don't know the difference, do you? Yeah, Power of the Occult. There's, I forget, I don't know the name, but I'm following somebody, I think, on my Uncle Birch 2 account. This drag queen that always gets sexually harassed by men on the internet that think that he's a woman, and it's funny as fuck. It's like, I said, it's just like, it's really funny. I'll try and find that account and maybe tag you in it, but it's really fucking funny. I mean, good looking drag queen. I mean, some drag queens are just like over the top, like I mean, we have fucking drag shows from hell over here in New Orleans, like way too much makeup, way too much hair. This, this dude looks like a lady. Doesn't look like some cartoon, and no offense to the drag queens, but some of you are like cartoon characters of femininity. It's just like it's too damn much. But really looks like a woman. Looks like what do we call one of those vintage women? They used to. That's what the '50s people like to call each other, vintage, which just makes me think that's an old woman, a vintage woman. I'm going to go relieve myself and grab another beverage. So stand by and look at the tree for a minute and get your thoughts together. We're doing Ask Uncle Birch on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. I'll be back. Get out of my way, dog.
Sure.
Man. Oh, there he is. See the corpse bug? The grave digger?
Crazy.
I'm going to call him Grave Digger from now on. Remind me of that monster truck. And I'm back. And you're still here. All right. Kind of thinking of making cheap Pinot for dinner. I got stuff, yeah.
Okay, I'll eat it.
Will you?
Yes.
That's what I like about you. I'll say no more because I don't want to go to TikTok prison.
Yeah. I know what you want to say.
When makeup can be scratched off your face and weighed, it's too much. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've got a really good friend. He's a drag queen, and he does the shows, and he's called Helen Back, and he's even done the Queen. He's like Queen Elizabeth, but
The queen is the easiest one
yeah,
because of the
but
lack of makeup.
but I never really think he looks like a woman.
Yeah.
You know, acting like a woman, but yeah, but this the one that I'm talking about is like looks like a woman and gets like approached by all of these right-wing guys and like shares the comments that she gets. Oh, now we got Damon Fain over here. This is scrambling your brain because I got Damon Fain over there, and I got Power of the Occult, which is Damon Fain over here. Are you listening to both? Is it in stereo, or is there a lag between the two formats? It's always kind of interesting. Um, da, da, da. Yes, you know what I was thinking. Um, I don't know if it was me, but I couldn't hear you on YouTube anymore, so I'm here now. Huh. Everybody hear me over there on YouTube? Can you hear me? Better quality than YouTube? Well, YouTube actually, yes, you can hear me. Cool. I think I actually turned my quality down when we were after Hurricane Ida. Yeah. We were without power for 11 days and barely any cell signal. Matter of fact, they had to take a generator to the cell tower just to keep it functioning. So I had about 2 bars, and I had, I was keeping all of my family's devices charged, and it was my job to basically keep the entire family from going insane for 11 fucking days. So part of that was using my phone to provide entertainment. Most of my streaming services would not work with that low of a signal, but YouTube allowed me to lower my video settings to where we could watch most things. Most things that we were watching on YouTube, even with that shitty ass signal, tended to work. My son, we even watched Idiocracy. I was telling the story about this movie that was very much like the Trump cult, and he wanted to see Idiocracy. A bunch of things. But you find the full movie on fucking YouTube. I came here from YouTube, way better quality. Okay, I already read that one. Yeah, I can see the difference here. But on TikTok, there's like an automatic filter. I don't know where it is, so I don't turn it off. But there is a different filter. But then on YouTube, it's just lower video quality. So actually, I can see more wrinkles on TikTok than I can on YouTube.
They're character lines.
They're character lines because
You're
I am a character.
You're a man.
And I'm a character.
I'm a character. I have wrinkles.
All the Corrals are characters. The fucking dog over here is a goddamn character, too. Yep. Uncle Birch coming live from New Orleans. We're live on YouTube. And we're live on TikTok at the same time, answering random questions about witchcraft and magic, because that's what we do. November 1st class is still open till the end of November. I always, nowadays, I just let people sign up all month. If you're interested in that, you got to go to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. That's under the title on YouTube and under my profile on TikTok. I believe I have that there. If not, Witch School is the important thing. WITCHSKEWL. I'm the only one that spells it that way, so I'm the only one you'll probably find. My my level 1 November 2021 class is still open. My level 2 November 2021 class is also open and causing a great deal of confusion to some people. So when you go over there, first of all, you want to check what year it is. Okay, I still have people signing up for November 2020, which, as you might imagine, just ended since it's a year-long course, right? And make sure you're not signing up for level 2 when you're trying to sign up for level 1. Level 2 makes a lot more sense once you've taken level 1 or had, basic training in witchcraft. But I have both of those started on the same month, and that seems to cause some confusion for people. But the class is up. You can sign up for it. It's $35 a month for a year, and it is still open on gumroad.com/witchschool. You can also get magical supplies from people that know what they're fucking doing. It makes all the difference. When you buy your magical supplies from Walmart, the dollar store, that kind of thing, well, they came from a Chinese sweatshop. You're going to have a hard time overcoming that energy to do any money magic or anything good for your life. It's crap. If you use crap to do your magic, you get crap magic. But over at the lovershermeticsupply.com, we have my students making stuff. Under my supervision, of course. No, not really. I don't have to supervise much because my students know their shit. So I saw what good work they were doing, and we joined into an alliance. The Sacred Grove, which is my shop, and the Lovers Hermetic Supply are one shop now. So you can check that out too. Idiocracy and William Gibson's Cyberpunk Future are the William Gibson's Cyberpunk Future. I want to remember that, but I probably will forget. What you know what platform that one's on? I probably have it. Oh look, I'm getting visitors at the Lovers Hermetic Supply. I can only hope that's because I just said it. Cool. I always love when I get that reaction, or I plug the class and I see somebody sign up while I'm on camera here. I will see it. If you sign up for the class right now, I'll see it. And several times somebody like signed up for the wrong class. I go, okay, it's not 2020 anymore. I hear birthmarks can be a death wound from a past life. Possible. You know, we have a lot of theories on that, but you know, nobody's actually come back from the dead and told us what happened. We have a lot of theories, and I recognize that a lot of the things that we think happens beyond death is to make us feel better. There are a lot of stories, you know, hanging out on the clouds, you know, playing a harp, being reunited with all of our past loved ones. It sounds good, and I hope that's true, but the only reason that we have to believe that's true is because people said that. And it seems to be the kind of thing that people might say to make themselves feel better. Hopefully that's not it. Bear mauling, yeah, that'd be a good way to go, sure. Let's see, am I missing anything over here? What's your take on the LBRP used as a circle exclusively? Always hear your voice saying, when you banish, you must invoke. Well, witches, as of the 1970s, 1974, the Minneapolis, Minnesota witch meet of 1974, where the first time witches got together, organized, and decided policy for what would be called Wicca and neo-paganism. It was found that the majority of witches had been borrowing the LBRP to do a circle. Matter of fact, Gardner's circle is based off of that. Anytime you find yourself tracing pentagrams in the air, you're borrowing from the LBRP. Those are the people that first came up with that. Now, the beauty of that is that the ceremonialists didn't tend to have their books burned, and they didn't get persecuted a whole lot. So we had a whole lot at the 1974 witch meet. There was a whole lot of intact books of shadows, intact systems, and they all referred to doing a ritual circle for this, that, or the other, but nobody at the meeting had an intact ritual circle to use for that purpose. Now, to your other point, the way that I learned the LBRP, the classic way, there is one series of movements where you move counterclockwise around the circle, and at each of the four quarters, you trace what is an earth banishing pentagram. Then the ritual starts its clockwise motions, and you do a different pentagram at each quarter, calling forth a Hebraic god name for each of the specific quarters. And then before me, Raphael, behind me, Gabriel, Uriel, Michael, all that. When you banish, you must invoke. The first movement of the LBRP is one full banishment, and then they invoke. So the ceremonialists that put together the original ritual seem to know of what I speak, which they should, because they're ceremonialists and they should be, you know, better at this than a lot of the rest of us. So my take on the classic lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, which is a terrible name because you banish and then you invoke. But that process has been used by witches forever. And then the problem is that, you know, a lot of less scholarly witches that didn't really pay attention to the movements or look closely at what they represented. We had many ritual circles being done by Wiccans and whatnot, where they're going clockwise around the circle, tracing an earth banishing pentagram in every quarter. Now, that may have been because it was just too difficult for witches of old to memorize 4 different pentagrams and 4 different ways to fucking draw the pentagrams. Now, they would have had a real problem if we came up with the spirit pentagrams, which is another step. But over here on YouTube, you can find the Big A pentagram method, which is my method of showing you how to do the different pentagrams for the different quarters properly in a way that you will not forget. Try me. Tell me if you forgot. The things that using the anarchy A as a description to follow for the ritual tends to stick in the mind, but there's something about the way that I taught that in the Big A pentagram method. I've never run across anybody that forgets how to do the difficult process of tracing 4 different pentagrams 4 different ways, and actually 8 different ways if you count the banishing pentagrams, because when you invoke you must banish too. But that's a good question. That took me all over the map. Hello, TikTok. Hello, YouTube. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans on TikTok and YouTube. I'm at about half battery on this phone. I don't know where I am on this other phone, but that will limit how far I can go. Once again, your YouTube classes are valuable. Yes, and you know, it's not all about money. I know that not everybody can afford the $420 a year, which is not that much money, to take my level 1 course. I do have, I believe it's an 8 class course called Intro to Witchcraft or Introduction to Witchcraft on YouTube. It's older. I have more stuff to say nowadays. You know, that's at least a decade old. But you know, if you don't have the money, there's other ways. Since you live in Louisiana, do you know or have learned anything about faith healers? No, well, you know, we arrived here 2 months before the world went into lockdown. So there's a lot to still see here. There's a lot to still learn here. There's a lot we have not done here. We're just getting to the point where we can go out. You know, we just got to the point where our kid could get vaccinated. So it's always kind of sketchy, always kind of worried about it. You know, it's like, what if we go home and, you know, what if we go out and bring COVID home to our kid? And it's like, we can't go anywhere with our kid because he can't get vaccinated and that kind of thing. So we're just getting to the point where we're actually having life again. Hey, Hoodoo Mama, how are you? Just tell people to use your Banishing Poverty video and use the money from that to get your course. Yeah, there you go. Use my Banishing Poverty video over here on YouTube and then use that money to take the course. If you designate in a money spell that you want this amount of money to further your education in witchcraft, that's a powerful money spell. There are forces that will come to your aid in that type of money spell. You have some good thing. You're going to pursue the great work with that money. You say that to your gods, but you have to do it. You have to actually pursue the great work. It carries a lot of weight on the other side. You're just like, oh, I need fucking money to pay my bills. They're going, oh God, again, you fucking humans and your fucking bills. Okay, all right, well, get to your spell when we can. Oh, you want to study the ways? Well, that benefits us. Now I'm playing the part of God right now. That benefits us as well as you. Yes, I will aid in your quest, certainly. Man Witch, how the hell are you? We were just talking about the Lover's Hermetic Supply. Now go over here to Man Witch 3. You can see the Lover's Hermetic Supply in action. The other day I saw him doing a video where he felt all cringy because he was advertising. You know, stop that. Stop that, Man Witch. It's not cringy. You deserve to make a living off your practice, like I do, like we all do. You deserve to do magic for benefit. But I understand. I have oft felt the same way when I find myself advertising shit, but you just gotta get over it. Got to get over it and just go, you know, you can find my classes at gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL, and get your magical supplies from people that know what the fuck they're doing and your magical work better at the lovershermeticsupply.com. Are we still having the skull candle promo? I think we're still having the skull candle promo. I think the code was Witch Tock. to get like, I think 20% off on the skull candle. I don't know. It was through the month of October. But you tell me over here if we're still doing the skull candle promo, man. Ireland closed for another full lockdown. Oh, Jesus. I purchased Witch School last night and got through the first video lesson. It was captivating, man. I can't wait to dive in and get my hands dirty. I have questions. Yeah, the best way to reach me is witchschool@gmail.com. I usually say that at the beginning of the first class, but some people don't get the message, and they'll message me on TikTok, or they'll message me on Facebook. Now I'm getting messages on Instagram, and I ultimately will like start the conversation with those people and then lose track of the conversation because I just can't keep track of all that shit. But yes, that's the way in the email. Now I'm gonna message retracted. Ooh, I bet that was a cool message, but you retracted it. I'm gonna run in the house really quick and grab the charger just to make sure that my phone doesn't die. I'll be back.
Yeah, my phone's gonna die too.
Okay. I'm gonna charge mine up a little bit now. All right, what a lovely tree, huh? That's a hackberry tree. A tree I've never known until we moved to New Orleans. So I'm assuming it's a very common tree here. Let's see. Getting the charger up through the hole in the thing and then plug it in the charger over here. Get down there, you bastard. All right. There we go. Let's see, did Manwich ever say anything about that thing? Damon, oh, thanks for the rose. Oh, yeah, you guys blew it. If you didn't get your discount on skull candles, it's because you weren't paying attention. Now you need to follow Manwich over there. I shared it too. Of course, that was on my old account that got, permabanned. Hello, son.
Hi.
How art thou?
Good.
That is good. Okay. Good talk, son.
Good talk, good talk.
St. Hamilton's Thelemic Sanctuary thanks you. Ooh. Hey, 93, y'all. You Thelemites. Ireland's on lockdown. Oh, I just haven't slept enough to spell correctly. The message wasn't cool. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for you. Hello, Hoodoo Mama. You were already here, so. Oh, Damon Fain got his discount when it was up. Yep. 93 back at you. Ooh, thank you for the presents. I guess I got to figure out how to get that out of here. That was another thing with fucking TikTok. I mean, I'm not going to cry over 20 bucks or so, but it was my 20 bucks. From you people. I let it just accumulate there, and then like sometime when I'm between paydays or something, I go look. It's like, oh, yeah, cool. I got 20 bucks in TikTok. I'll go send it over to my PayPal. Buy a couple packs of smokes or something. But when TikTok permabanned my account, I had about 20 bucks in there through a very small portion through the Creators Fund. I will not join the Creators Fund on my new pages. That's a stupid thing to do. But those gifts that y'all give me, those translate into cents, and you add up enough of those cents, they become dollars. It's magic. But motherfuckers kept my money. Can you believe that? They banned my account and kept my money. Thieving bastards on TikTok. Now on YouTube, a long time ago when I monetized my account, somebody like clicked on one of the commercials several times or something like that. And maybe that was the Christians back then. Maybe they knew that, but they got me, permanently banned from being able to monetize my YouTube account. And it's probably been a year or so since I filed an appeal. Maybe I'll do that again, but no money coming through YouTube for advertising, at least. I make money elsewhere. But I need to check my battery on YouTube. Hold on. Not great, but not bad over there on battery level on YouTube. So Uncle Birch will come to you live from New Orleans on YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. Oh, you keep sending presents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, Silver Moon. Thank you. Hello, Silver Moon. 111. How are you? That tain't it, honey. Hello there. I love people's usernames. Let's see. Okay, nothing happening over on YouTube right now. But we do this little thing called Ask Uncle Birch. It helps me keep my teaching muscles strong by answering random questions from witches all around the world. Also helps me, keep a know of what the kids these days want to know. You probably want to know different stuff than I wanted to know when I was a witch kid. I'm running from the sun right now. And hopefully it's a community service. I originally came to TikTok to see the person wanting to hex the moon and the fae. Never found them, and I don't know if they actually even exist. But I found a whole lot of witches in need of teaching, and a whole lot of people teaching bullshit. For lack of a better word. Well, ooh, what the fuck did you just send me? A swing set? Ooh, thank you for the swing set. That took up the whole screen right there. Damon sent me a swing. Thank you. And so I started, doing that. I just similar to my experience on YouTube. First I'm going, well, fuck. How are you supposed to teach witchcraft in 60 seconds or less? That was before they had a 3-minute option. And that's the way I do it. I used to, like, when I first did it on YouTube, I said, you can't do that. You can't teach witchcraft on YouTube. That's against the rules. That's not traditional, blah, blah, blah. I sounded like such an old fart when I said that. I made my first video 10 minutes later. But now on TikTok, I have a different way. It's like, how can you? Don't think of terms of what you can and cannot do. Think, how can I do that? Don't look at things as blockages. Look them as challenges. It's a challenge to teach witchcraft in under 60 seconds, but I have found how to do that. And I'll be redoing a lot of those videos since I lost them when they permabanned my 65,000 fucking member account. I have to remember a lot of the stuff that I taught on TikTok and reteach it again. Ooh, you sent me a mini speaker? God, I'm getting presents and mini speakers and a turkey? What the fuck was that? Money falling from the sky. Thank you for the money fall. Gold mine. Ooh, thanks for the gold mine. Jesus. Okay, I'm looking back and forth, seeing if I missed any questions. Well, George Phillips, my daily meditation would probably be right before bed. I cleanse the house of all negativity and then program that to refill the spaces where the negativity was with its opposite. So all over the house. And when you banish, you must invoke. And then I do my psychic self-defense shields up and use my transformation shields to send, to transform all of the energy being sent at me to beneficial energies. I'm just trying to find some place where that little piece of sun doesn't hit me in the face. Okay, it should go behind that tree any minute now. You should add to your witch school how we students can set up our own tactic and saturate it with witches from your school. Oh. I'm trying to wrap my head around that one. I'm gonna have to think about that. Ooh, I got more mini speakers. Full support. Oh, thank you, thank you. Uncle Birch coming to you live on TikTok, where good connection still, and YouTube simultaneously. So if you miss anything on TikTok, or if you got in late, something I said that you want to hear again, you can go over to YouTube and it'll be saved there forever. So just, find me, follow me on YouTube, Uncle Birch on YouTube, Uncle Birch _witch on Instagram. You can find me as Michael Carell on Facebook. You can also find Uncle Birch. You can also find Unity of Wicca and Witchcraft, Cyber Witchcraft School, Witch School Courses in the Old Ways, and then Witch School, WITCHSKEWL, is a private group for my students. Ooh, a fucking drum set? The hell are you guys coming up with this stuff? You sent me some rock and roll? Thank you. Where are you coming up with this stuff? Presents, flowers. Yeah, I'm used to seeing that kind of shit. But a whole fucking drum set, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Freighter Fractionist is over there on YouTube. Hey, howdy, how are you? We're doing the dual broadcast thing. I'm over on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously on 2 separate screens. If you ever find a piece of software that does both or sends me to several formats at the same time that actually works with this shit, I'll use it. I tried Restream. All my friends seem to be, using Restream and having that work. I did the trial version of Restream and did not find that it worked well enough for me to pay for the paid version. And that used to be the way. If you had a free version, you need to make it work even better than the paid version to get people to buy the fucking paid version. But if the free version doesn't fucking work, I'm not going to buy the fucking paid version. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, I work with all kinds of deities. Have oathed myself away to several goddesses. I'm quite sure my call went through. Yes. What's your opinion on Return to Sender? It is often done in mirror spells and that kind of thing, but it just perpetuates the drama or the negativity. It just kind of keeps going. Here, hold on. I can't scoot that one back, can I? Shit. Just kind of keeps the thing rolling. I believe, when I have an enemy, go over to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. You see spiritual warfare, crush the enemy. So I tend to believe that I don't go out and bloody the nose of one of my enemies. I crush them ultimately. You know, the family could be endangered by an enemy. When I find them, they come at me. Now for a while I'll suck off their power and transform it into my own. But ultimately, if they keep coming back, I just destroy them outright. It's a better policy. Pumpkin pie. Oh my God, I just got sent pumpkin pie. Holy fucking shit, bro, just joined. Hey, holy fucking shit, bro, how the hell are you? We're coming to you live from New Orleans on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. Oh, Frader, you're in level 2. Cool. Howdy from YouTube. Oh, that's you. If this is dumb, sorry, but isn't Lucifer and Satan the same? No, it's not stupid because the Christians can't fucking get that through their head. Lucifer, Satan, the snake in the Garden of Eden, totally different characters. Totally different characters that get all lumped together by unscholarly Christians. And I think it's sad and embarrassing. It should be sad and embarrassing to them that your average witch knows the Bible better than they do. And I definitely do. That's what I used to always, rail on Wesley Loves Jesus over here on TikTok about. The match method. I'm not sure what you're calling the match method, so I would need you to elaborate. Havocax 101. What is the match method in your view? Well, I think Jennifer. We have a witch school group on Facebook. You've got to be in one of my classes or have attended one of my classes to get into that group. So we are kind of saturating with that. One of my pages, I think it's Uncle. No, I think it's Witch School Courses in the Old Ways. Um, Instagram automatically started sharing my videos to there, so that's cool. I've got more traffic on that page now. But Witch School Courses in the Old Ways, WITCHSKEWL. Yeah, okay, so Jennifer, if you didn't know about that, you go over to Witch School, the group, and you apply for membership there. Tell us which class you're in. I double check that and let you in, basically. And it's all of my students from Witch School. I even have students from my witch school that was here on YouTube 7 years ago. It's a private channel you can't see. In that, so I have all levels of my students there. Wesley. Yeah, there's over here on TikTok. There's Wesley Follows Jesus, who is a youth pastor that likes to use her youth pastorship to talk shit about witches pretty often. So I've had to stitch her, which is where you do part of her video with a new video over top of it. I've had to stitch her several times and school her about her religion and about things that are or are not in her Bible. Strike 2 matches together, throw in a bowl of water, they cross, you're hexed, touch the... Okay. Yeah, I know that one. That's similar to the olive oil one to tell if you're hexed. So, yes, I do believe that one. Hello, it's me, Mellies. How are you? Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. So I'll be going screen to screen. Big Nick is also someone I'm trying to take down. It's harder because he's verified. Okay. Well, tag me in one of his videos. I'll help you take that one down too. Right now, I'm focusing on Kill the Witch 21. We've restricted his page 5 separate times. And I'm hoping if we keep on that, we'll get his page taken down. Because if Eric could make the charge of hate speech, he should be the one. But there's other problematic, bigoted Christians over on the TikTok app that we're aiming at. They're doing it to us over on TikTok, so we're doing it to them. The time for our people taking that kind of shit and silently hiding in the shadows has passed. Big Nick is like the final boss for me. Okay, tag me in Big Nick, because I will forget that. But I want to... that is my pastime. I spent most of my time in TikTok prison attacking my enemies and providing content for my other 2 pages that were not in TikTok prison. It's me. He's been reporting him for months. TikTok says no violation. You just got to keep it up. It's an algorithm. There's nobody there. We're not checking. I will report somebody's profile for hate speech and then report it again and then report it all in the same sitting. And I get replies from all of those for like a week. And I do it like 5 times, and for a week I'll be going, no violation. We check, no violation, and then eventually, violation found, and we've restricted the page. So we have restricted Kill the Witch 21's page like about 5 times. So his page is still up, but he can't post. He can't do anything. He has another account. We actually got that one violated too. I can't think of what his other account is. But if we do that enough times, the same thing will happen to him that happened to me. And it happened to several other people. Permaban. We'll permaban his fucking account. Yeah, I don't block them. I attack them. That's my way. I'm not a peacenik. I don't subscribe to the Wiccan Rede. I don't believe in the threefold law. I think karma's a verb. This is the hand of karma, and this is the other hand of karma, and it's my job when I find karma that needs to be delivered to deliver such karma. That's the Drago way. I'll tag him in a video. You said to tag Christians in. I'll go to one of his videos and tag you too. Okay, yeah, do that, and then I'll find. See, I already forgot his name, so yeah, then I'll find him. So you over here on YouTube, this is the shit we're dealing with over here on TikTok. It's a whole different world. On YouTube, they have more, they're owned by Google, so they have more money than God, and they pay their programmers and have decent programmers. TikTok, no. They pay their programmers shit, and they have shitty programmers. To have, I mean, I'm not a programmer, but I know bad coding when I see it. When you can, like me, with my 65,000 follower account, when I can win most of my appeals for violating community standards, but then still rack up points for multiple violations of community standards and have my account permabanned, even though I won the appeal that was referencing the community standards. I was like, you got two fucking algorithms running against each other. That's bad fucking coding, man. It's bad coding because TikTok, who's got plenty of fucking money, they ain't paying their people worth of shit. They don't have any people running a goddamn thing. It's two algorithms run amok, fighting each other all the time. I got upset. Yeah, I don't even look at his posts anymore. I report the account. I report the account for hate speech and let TikTok figure that out. But it just takes enough reports, and then eventually one of those reports goes through. That's what happened to me. It's like, I was reported for like nudity, hate speech, illegal products and activities, like, all kind of shit that I never fucking did. It was like, nudity. You mean to tell me that the TikTok person went to the video, didn't see nudity, and then still said that it violated community standards? Because I had one of those. And I did not win my appeal on that. It was like, I was clearly not naked. There was nobody naked in my fucking video. So that means that a human did not review that at all. Okay, so battery is sufficiently. Okay, so that's good there. Now I'm going to go over to this one. Please stand by. Balance this fucker. Balance this fucker with that fucker. Oh god, if you could see all the fucking cameras. There we go. Is it good? All right, I don't have to work. Hello, Hound. I can't get my money out of the creator fund. Yeah, that happened to me. These took probably about 20 bucks. I'll spend 20 bucks in a fucking second, but still, it's, the fact that it was my 20 bucks and that TikTok stole it from me. That's not going to go over well. There's this story that I learned a long time. I learned it from Muerte, actually, and she learned it from a book, The Turkey. What's the book?
Oh,
Thomas Friedman.
Yeah. I think it's from Beirut to Jerusalem.
Beirut to Jerusalem. An old Bedouin tribal leader heard that eating fresh turkey kept you young and virile. So he got himself a turkey. And he's like feeding the turkey, he's fattening the turkey out. Getting ready. One day he's going to eat the fucking turkey. Somebody comes in one night and steals his fucking turkey. Calls his sons forward. He says, "We are in grave danger, sons. Somebody has stolen my turkey. You must get my turkey back." And the son just said, "Dad, what the fuck you want a turkey for, man? We're in the Middle East, man. Nobody eats fucking turkey here. It's fucking turkey. Who cares about your goddamn turkey?" So, next day, somebody steals one of the men's camels. Calls his sons forward. Says, "Sons, we are in grave danger. Somebody has stolen my turkey. You must get my turkey back." And gone again with the turkey, Dad. Come on, what do you want a fucking turkey for? They just laughed him off, didn't deal with it. Next day, his daughter gets raped. Calls his sons forward. Says, "When they took my turkey, that's when we lost everything. When they took my turkey, that's when they learned that they could take everything from us. get back my turkey. Moral of the story is, if you let somebody violate you one time, they will violate you again. If you let somebody take from you one time, they will take from you again. Do not give up your turkey. So I'm still filing appeals. I'm still filing complaints. The TikTok Jesus, somebody tagged me in his video. He gave me a new address at TikTok. I believe it's community manager at tiktok.com. Allegedly, from that email address, people have gotten a human response and gotten banned accounts unbanned. So I'm still staying at that. It's like, yeah, it's $20. And $20 is my turkey. You don't get to ban me and take my fucking money. Not quietly, at least. I'm not going to just let that fucking go. I may have no power to get that turkey back, but I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying to get that fucking turkey back. Once you let somebody violate you, they will violate you again. And you have opened the door for that continued violation. Get yours. Get your fucking turkey, man. Oh, thank you for sharing the live video. Yeah, share the live video if you can over here on TikTok. I don't know if they have an option over here on YouTube. Follow if you're not following. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. But also, over on TikTok, you follow me at Uncle Birch 2, Uncle Birch 3, and Witch School, WITCHSKEWL. Over here on YouTube, I've got Uncle Birch. There is another account that YouTube, I don't know, they made me set it up one time. I was clicking on some shit, and they just made another account. So there's one, Michael Carell, that has 5 videos. I'm thinking of doing something with that channel since it exists and I can't make it not exist. Now it turns out my kid has a fucking YouTube channel. I don't even think he understands. I don't even think he knows that he has it. But when I go and, use my email, the account that exists on that email is Mojo Plays Games or something like that on fucking YouTube. I haven't looked to see if there's any content over there. I have a third account apparently associated with my name that's really not me. I gave you 30. Take those out before you get banned again. Well, I think it should be a while before they can permanently ban this account. The Uncle Birch 2's only been in TikTok jail twice, but you can delete. I know, but they make it really complicated to fucking do that. I didn't even try to set up that account. They just automatically set up an account. Some shit I was clicking on with the Michael Carell name. But since I have that account, I should do something. I cannot monetize Uncle Birch. I haven't filed an appeal in about a year, but I cannot do that. And I always say, work smarter, not harder. Have several forms of income that are automated, that work all the fucking time. My favorite thing in the world was I'm in bed or, doing something else or, even watching TV and my phone goes ka-ching. Ka-ching. I'm getting paid while not doing shit. I'm getting paid for work I did a year ago, man. So, I got 10 years worth of stuff on YouTube that I should be getting paid for. So, I need to get my turkey back from YouTube too. So, either they'll do it. Either I'll get monetized on the Uncle Birch account, or I'll figure out how to get monetized on the Michael Carell account. And what's the email again? I think you're talking about Witch School, WITCHSKEWL @gmail.com. But then there's my other YouTube account, which is associated with Michael Carell, CORRELL 13 at gmail.com. I've got that's the thing. It's when they started fucking with me on TikTok, I've got 7 different email addresses. I can make an account associated with every one of those addresses, and then I can just go to Gmail and set up another account. It takes a couple seconds to set up a new fucking email account. So I can make fucking TikTok accounts all day, every day, if they continue to fuck with me. Will not go away. My main account just got banned for calling racists out. Yeah? That happens. You call racists out and then they get you for hate speech. That's what I'm saying. There's no humans. Over here on TikTok, we are the humans on TikTok. There's nobody on the other end. I am trying that. Oh, that email. Oh, that might be it. The email address that TikTok Jesus gave me was communitymanager@tiktok.com. Communitymanager@tiktok.com. I will, if it works out, I will praise TikTok Jesus. I will sing Kumbaya with TikTok Jesus. He looks like Jesus too, actually. But his account's like something Morning Star, so it's kind of funny. He's got like a Lucifer thing going on, but he's called the TikTok Jesus. Um, that's what he said, and I'm trying that. I've tried all of the other emails associated with that. I'm not, nor do I have any knowledge of Clapper. I don't even know what Clapper is, so I don't believe I am there. But I'm on YouTube, Facebook, um, my Instagram, Uncle Birch _witch. My podcast, our podcast is distributed all over the place. Widdershins is on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, SoundCloud, a few other places I don't even fucking remember. It's kind of automated. We make the broadcast and it just launches to all these formats, and it's always kind of hard to figure out how many hits we have because Spreaker, where we do the podcast, doesn't calculate the hits from other apps. So I have to like go to the different apps, and so I just don't even fucking look. It's like, all right, well, people are clearly listening to the show because I'm getting comments all over the place. But figure out how many hits, just like rocket surgery. It's like TikTok, but not all the BS. Clapper, huh? Well, I guess maybe I have to check out that one too. Hopefully I'll remember that after we get off of here. We also have a store. You can use like Etsy. A store. Huh. Clapper. Anybody else know Clapper? Anybody on Clapper? We're here on YouTube or TikTok. You on Clapper? Haven't heard of that one. Look at that. I got 1,000 likes over here on TikTok on an account that I think has like 400 followers. Or no, I'm sorry, 4,000. Close to 4,000. I'm losing track, but well, yeah, I know you're on Clapper. It's me. Anybody else on Clapper? Anybody else heard of Clapper? I don't know. I don't know that one, but sounds like maybe I need to check it out. Nudity, ha ha ha. Final boss, something blue. Okay. Interesting conversations going on over here on YouTube. Isn't Clapper like conservative TikTok? I don't know. This is literally the first time I've heard of it. You ever heard of Clapper, honey?
Just the clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Talk amongst yourselves.
You never heard of the clapper?
I have, honey. I have heard of the Clapper. There wouldn't have been, if I hadn't heard of the Clapper, that would not have been funny at all.
Yeah.
I'd just be looking at you like, what the fuck is this crazy bitch talking about? You know the look. You know the look. These platforms are based largely towards monotheism. Still, might be, I've got a long history of pissing people off. I've only heard about it from conservatives. Huh. Well, maybe that's it. I don't hang out with any conservatives. While we are in Louisiana, we're also in New Orleans, which is nothing like Louisiana. It's the bluest fucking piece of the state. Ooh, thanks for the likes. Yeah, share the lives if you can share the lives. They probably have a function for that. I mean, I shared YouTube onto Facebook, so hopefully you can do that too. But share it if you can. Definitely not conservative. All right. Clapper. It's like an app in the App Store where you get this clapper of which you speak. I imagine it's probably there. Everything's there. Uncle Birch coming live from New Orleans on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. I'm probably going to get out of here soon. I'm going to have to give up this charger so Marta can charge her phone.
Yeah. It's cold.
And it's cold. It's getting a little cold outside, too. I don't want anybody to get sick. So I'm going to finish this smoke, and I'm going to get out of here. So if there's something you've been wanting to ask and been holding your, not your tongue, I guess your fingers, type it on in there. I got to go dual screen. What, hound? What? What? Here. On TikTok, they get to see the hound. God damn it. Will you just let them see you?
Mojo.
All right, well, you got to see his good eye, at least. On YouTube, I have the phone plugged in, so I can't do that right now. I want to ask something more like vent. All right, vent. Vent away. Zeitgeist concept. Defeat the final boss with Sonic, however any of us use the concept. I do. Schumann's resonating frequency. Yeah. Schumann's resonating frequency could do that for you. It drove him crazy. Yeah, it's cold. Yesterday it was fucking cold. We went out last night and everybody had their jackets on and everything inside the restaurant.
I had that crazy scarf on.
Yeah, Marta had that crazy scarf on. Yeah, it has cooled off drastically. No? Oh, you're getting Doug's.
I took it off yesterday, but I don't know what.
Yeah, you probably just flung it somewhere. It's hanging from a chandelier like your underwear.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right by your underwear, hanging from a chandelier, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so November. It's a great time to come to New Orleans. I mean, look I've been wearing the leather the whole time, man. Get to put on your layers and shit. Not like when you came in August, Damon Fain. It cools off quickly. Thoughts on witches teaching here wrongly. Well, that's why I'm here. That's what brought me to TikTok in the first place. I came to TikTok looking for the person that was going to hex the moon, the fae, and the sun. Never found that person, but I found a whole lot of baby witches being spoon-fed crap. There's like a handful of witches out here that knew what the hell they were talking about or know what the hell they're talking about, and the rest of them are teaching total shit. I mean, I won't even credit that one woman as being a witch, but that person that has spiritual retreats in Costa Rica that says that the moon doesn't exist. It was a trick by the negative ETs to put the moon there. I mean, whack jobs beyond fucking belief. So I don't know if we've met yet. I think it's me that said that. I'm a lifelong anarchist, and if you don't know, then you don't know. Anarchy doesn't mean what most people think it means. It does not mean no government. It means self-government. It has often been said that an anarchist is anybody that doesn't need a cop to tell them what to do. That's me. I don't need a cop to tell me what to do.
We need the government to tell us what to do. We
exactly.
stayed at
Exactly.
home, locked down, got the vaccine.
We locked down before they said to lock down. We wore masks before they said to lock masks or wear masks. We got vaccinated before it was a mandate. We didn't need to be told what to do. But another thing about anarchy is it's about personal responsibility. Over here on YouTube, look up, after we're done here in a couple minutes, look up Moose Turd Pie. Watch the video, Moose Turd Pie, the song of the same name from Utah Phillips, and you get the point. In anarchy, we say, if you don't like it, fix it or shut the fuck up. If you recognize the problem that other people don't recognize, either quit bitching about it or do something about it. Nobody likes to hear constant bitching about everything wrong in the fucking world. What are you going to do to make it right? What are you going to do? If you can't come up with something, shut the fuck up. Quit your bitching. Nobody likes to hear a bitch bitching. Do something about it. So I'm over here on TikTok seeing a bunch of people being taught witchcraft by people that don't know. Hey, Tim, how the hell are you? Being taught witchcraft by people that don't know what the fuck they're doing, don't know what the fuck they're teaching. And I'm sitting there, a 40 plus year teacher of witchcraft whose full-time job it is to teach witchcraft. Should I just bitch about what's going on TikTok or throw my fucking hat in the ring? An anarchist gonna throw their fucking hat in the ring. So here I've been for 2 fucking years now, on YouTube or on TikTok, throwing my hat in the fucking ring, teaching real witchcraft, and that's why the Christians are trying to permaban my account. That's the last thing they want, is a teacher of witchcraft teaching witches how to do better witchcraft. I totally understand that they have a problem with that, but I have every right to do so, and they have no rights to stop me, so I'm not going away. You know, when you take this charger, I'm gonna finish the smoke, and then I'll be in.
Bring my drink.
I can bring your drink.
Thank you, honey.
Yes, dear. God, now my cameras are all over the place. And Uncle Birch coming to you live on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. And sorry you just got here, Tim, but I'm just about out. When I finish the cigarette, I got to go do dad stuff and husband stuff, father stuff, animal owner stuff. I've been practicing about 43 years too, right on. Well, see, me, I immediately started teaching. And I don't recommend that, but I was teaching 2 weeks into my Wicca 101 course. I was teaching all my friends witchcraft, and I got in trouble. That was against the rules. You weren't allowed to do that. And they said, you can't teach witchcraft yet. You're not initiated as a teacher. The teacher is a rank in that tradition. And I said, well, while it could be said that I may not teach witchcraft according to the rules, whether or not I can teach witchcraft would depend on what I have given to my students. What have I passed on to my students? So they convened a council. They had a council. And had about 5 of my students go into this room one at a time. And I sat out in this hallway. And when the smoke cleared and they were done, polling all of my students and questioning them, they came out, they brought me into the room, they scheduled my first degree initiation, they scheduled me to be in the teacher's training program, I'd be a student teacher with another teacher, and then scheduled my second degree initiation, which would be teacher of witchcraft. So apparently at 13 years old, I had some sort of ability to teach witchcraft that they recognized, even at my young age. Now, normally you can't even get into the classes until you're 18 years old, but I was a latchkey kid. It's like an emancipated minor without the paperwork, basically. Happened all the time back in the 80s. I was pretty much raising myself, and my parents really had nothing to do with that. They rushed me into the program, and so I was, I was teaching before you're allowed to teach. Now, I don't recommend that unless you find yourself having such an ability to do that. But something about learning witchcraft, there was times in my life they said I had a learning disability in school. Even though I excelled at, history, science, and English. But I wasn't good at math and a couple other things. They said a learning disability. And then when I discovered witchcraft, not only did I not have a learning disability, I had a learning ability that excelled most people that I'd ever known, and had the ability to immediately retranslate that into a way that is understandable by the person on the other end. That was at 13 years old. I'm 56 now, so I've been doing that a long time. Now, apparently at 13 years old, I found what I was going to be doing my whole life. In addition to teaching me witchcraft, they taught me shopcraft. They taught me how to run a shop, how to brew your own stuff, that kind of thing. And, I didn't know that I was going to be a witch store owner. I didn't know that I'd be teaching witchcraft my whole life and owning a fucking witch store. But apparently at 13 years old, I found it. People always ask me, it's like, hey, Uncle Birch, how do I find my path? I said, start walking and look backwards at a certain point, and there's your path. You're never going to see your path ahead of you. They call it witchcraft the twisted path, the winding path. You've heard these words. Now picture yourself on a twisting, winding path. Can you see where you're going? Going like that. Going like that. It's all over the fucking place. You're not going to see around the corner. You're not going to know where that's going to go. Start walking. Start your fucking path, and you'll know what your fucking path is when you look backwards on your path and go, damn, that's an interesting path. I've been on that fucking path this whole fucking time. It's fascinating shit. Yes, there's plenty of people. I mean, the first witch store I worked in Santa Cruz, I eventually became the manager of that store. But the reason I got the job there is because I knew witchcraft. And the person that owned the store had just been initiated as a Gardnerian witch like a month before she opened the store. And she needed some people there that knew their shit. And I come walking in just because I thought, oh shit, we finally have a witch store in this town. How cool is this? And one of the witches there knew who I was. And I already had a reputation in the witchcraft community, and she saw me immediately and decided that I was going to be her replacement. She was already done with the witch store, and she saw me outside looking in the window. As a matter of fact, I was looking at a book called Ways of the Strega. Strega being the Italian word for witch, and ways being one of the old code words for the craft. But nobody knew what a strega was. Later, Raven Gramassi had to remarket that book as Italian witchcraft because still nobody knew what a fucking strega was. I knew immediately. I come walking in that fucking door, grab that book out of the window. I'm ready to buy that fucking book. So right away, they're just going, God, you're going to buy a book that nobody else around here even knows what it fucking is. Next thing you know, I'm on a job interview. And next thing you know, I'm working in a witch store. And then, probably a couple years after that, we decided, we should break away from this amateurish shit and start our own fucking witch store by people that know witchcraft. Isn't that a novel idea? Then the Sacred Grove was born. Nowadays, the Sacred Grove has joined forces with one of my students that I found out there on TikTok. And he was brewing things and making things. And he was doing everything that I taught him to do, and then some. He made it his own. He made his own ways on top of what I taught him to do that. And that over here on TikTok is ManWitch3. And I was so impressed by that. And that's exactly what I tell my students. Take what I fucking give you and make it your own. Fucking put your own fucking take on it. Put your own fucking twist on it and fucking get out there and fucking do that. So me and Manwitch and Ginger over there at the lovershermeticsupply.com, we made us a little alliance. We joined our stores. So the Sacred Grove is the Sacred Grove and the lovershermeticsupply.com. Magical products, magical supplies made by magic users. Brewed in a magical way. Gotta be better than sweatshop shit you get at the dollar store, right? Right? Everyone that touched that shit's got an energy. All right, you know what? I'm gonna smoke one more. I know I'm smoking them like right on top of each other, but yeah. I'm gonna have one more because people keep coming. This now TikTok's kind of blowing up over here. I don't want to bail quite yet. So for you, I will pollute my lungs one more time and then go in and do the other shit. That's what a proper teacher does. They want you to go further and better yourself. Absolutely, that's what a father does. I want my kid to be better than I fucking am. Let's see. So I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I don't know if she'll see this, but I have a daughter. She's about 24 years old now. She grew up in the back of a witch store. Her first name is the queen of all witchery. Starts with an A. Never cared about that. Last I heard, my daughter was an agnostic. I was cool with that. Cool. All right. Yeah. Might be true. Might not be true. I don't know. That's realistic. It's a realistic view. Maybe about a year ago, my daughter texted me. You get like from like 13 to like 18. especially with a father-daughter kind of thing, if you're like getting to that point, going to raise kids, you know, there's going to be a certain period of time when kids just don't fucking talk to you, man. And my son's getting to that age where he's just not going to fucking talk to me. And it's like, I'll be ready, you know, this time. You know, it's like my do-over. Because he's 11 now, so he's getting to that point, you know. And hopefully it won't work out the same way, you know, with that. You know, hopefully we'll still talk, but they just don't. You don't hear from them for a while. They don't talk. They don't tell you anything about their lives. You know, how's your day? Fine, good. You know, that's most parents going to know what I'm talking about. That's what you're going to hear for a few years. Then you know, around 24 years old, she called me up. You know, there's negativity in the house she's in. She wants to clear out the house. Can you tell me how to do that, Papa? I said, well, fuck, baby. You know, I may not have been, you know, much help with your math homework and shit when you were going through school, and you know, other shit. You know, maybe it was a dual custody kind of thing, so we weren't always together. So there's portions of her life that I absolutely, you know, missed out on. But in this particular thing, Papa is a wealth of information. Absolutely, I can tell you how to fucking do that. I said, okay. So first thing, you need to get some rue. And she goes, okay, rue. You know, what's that? I said, oh, it's a plant. And you know, I knew from years ago, my daughter had a thing for Latino boys. All of her boyfriends were Latino, and that's just kind of the way that she leaned. That was like her thing. So I kind of assumed that was still the case. And so I told her, I said, yeah, it's rue. It's a plant. Find an old Latino woman, and she has it growing in the front yard. And she says, oh, there's one sitting right next to me. I said, yeah, I kind of figured there was one sitting right next to you. It's probably his grandma or something like that, because, you know, their families stick together and shit. And I said, so she has it growing in the front yard. And she goes, well, okay, she doesn't know what it is. I said, you know, how do you say it in Spanish? She said, ruta, R-U-T-A. And immediately she goes, yeah, she has it growing in the front yard. How'd you know? I said, you know, there are a few constants in the universe, but that one is one. Every old Latino woman has rue growing in the front yard near the fucking front door. In the backyard if they don't have the room, but they got the rue fucking growing. So, told her to get the rue. Then I directed her to one of my videos on YouTube. I said, okay, this will talk you through all this stuff that you need to do. And then she sent me a picture of her notes. And I was looking at him, I'm going, God damn, you know, I shot that video like 10 fucking years ago. You were fucking a little kid back then. And those are great fucking notes. I'm really impressed with your note-taking ability. And I said, you know what? Matter of fact, those notes are so good. Those are the type of notes that should go in a book of shadows. A few minutes later, my daughter sends me a picture of her book of shadows. Has her name on the front of it and everything. It's just like a notebook, but still, it's like that's how a lot of people start their book of shadows. So the worm turned. I never imposed my religious beliefs on her. I never pushed any of this stuff on her. It just changed. You know, naming my daughter after the queen of all witchery, you know, I figured that might have an effect on her later in life. So she shows me that. I said, so, you know what your father does for a living, right? And she goes, you still teach witchcraft, right? I go, yeah, that's my full-time fucking job. And I said, I will, for you. You don't even need to tell your mom, who also was a practitioner, because I taught her. You didn't even tell your mom, but I'm gonna give you a gift certificate for $4,000. $4,000 worth of discount codes that you can use on all of my fucking videos. And you know, fucking go here, you can take everything. Marta said I should just give her a discount, but I think Marta was just fucking around. But, you know, she's currently in one of my classes. She might be in your class, but I'm not gonna tell you who she is. She's on TikTok. She's on Instagram, but I'm not gonna tell you who she is, because, you know, she doesn't need any people's crap. But you never know, basically, is I guess the moral of that tale. You just never know what's gonna fucking turn. My kid, Sasha, my son, He grew up in the back of a witch store too. Never gave a shit about any of this stuff. I took him to when we first were visiting, looking for a place in New Orleans to move. I took him to a hoodoo store, and he was fascinated by all the stuff. And this one hoodoo store had no signs on any of the products explaining what they were. So this gave my kid a wealth of questions. You know, Papa, what's this? What's that? And oh, well, this is that's cascaria that's used for this, that, and the other. Oh, that's a fucking coffin nail cross. You use it for protection and this, blah, blah, blah. And we're just all over the store. I'm explaining all this stuff to him. He's fascinated as hell. He bought his first tarot deck, or I bought him his first tarot deck. Hasn't really picked it up much since then, but you just never know where those seeds are going to go. But so after going through the entire store and having this kid pick my brain, I said, so dude, you literally have grown up in a store like this around every one of those products, with the exception of the coffin nail crosses. I didn't have those, but everything, the cascaria, the stones, the bones, you fucking name it. You literally have grown up in this your entire life. And I've just never, you know, never pushed that on you, never talked to you about that, never explained. He laughs when, you know, we say mama and papa are witches. He kind of snickers about that. But, you know, now we're in New Orleans, I think he's taking it a little bit more seriously. He's like, wow, so you're all witches, he says to me one day. I said, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much everybody I know is a fucking witch, or root worker, voodoo priest, or Apollo, or fucking something. I don't have any mundane people in my fucking life, especially not here in New Orleans. So we'll see how that one turns out. I'm not, you know, I don't need him to study witchcraft. I'm not, you know, yearning for that, but, you know, the daughter made me proud, I gotta say. Happier boys have interest. Yeah, it's cool. And, it, you know, it could change. They could not be interested, and then someday they will. You know, I believe that there's a gene in our DNA that is the witch gene. And some people, it's just switched on at birth, and some people it switches on later in life for one reason or another. But we all have it in there. We all have the potential. It's just not activated yet. And you just never know when it's going to be activated. And then someday, you know, for, you know, a kid that didn't talk to me for like 5 fucking years, like now I have so much to say. All right, y'all. I did an extra cigarette to hang out with you a little bit longer, tell you a story, because Uncle Birch teaches by way of story. It is the bardic way, don't you know? But I got to go do other things. So, as our ancestors used to say, to remind us of the troubled times through which they came, difficulties through which they crawled through, and the breadcrumb trail that they left you to follow in the ways. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again, y'all. No, that's the wrong button on YouTube. How the fuck? X.